to do your regular.
Hello and welcome to Not Catholic Answers Live.
The pre-show.
Catholic Answers Live pre-show. I'm Cy Kellett. That's Edgar Lueno. And
Should have never told you.
look, it's never going to change now. That's your name from now
Okay.
on. Hi, Edgar.
Hi, Cy. Hi, Cy.
We got good stuff going on this show. We've got a program planned
Okay.
for the show.
That's good.
So part of it involves you, and I don't know what your timing is on your big event. Because you said,
I did say.
what? What did you say?
I said that if we met our goal on the first 2 days,
Yes.
on all hours, I will introduce Emiliano Maguire Lujano onto the show.
Emiliano Maguire Lueno.
Lujano.
Is he?
He's here.
Is he? I know he's in the building. There was an electric thrill that went through the building when
It was just his
Emiliano
cry,
came
don't worry.
out. That was just him screaming his head off. So, what's your timing on him coming in? Does he have to finish burping or something, or
Yeah, I think so. I think
is-
yeah, I got the thumbs up
pants
from the
currently
wife.
full? She said, "What? What's the thumbs up?"
The
mean?
thumbs up means after he's done burping.
After he's done burping. All right, because I know you fed him so that he would be a happy baby when he came in here.
No guarantees. Oh, wait, is he ready? No, not yet.
He's-
Oh, all right. Well, we
She
can.
says yes, he's ready, and then she leaves. Just walks out with him. Okay, that's how we do this.
Hello, chat.
Oh yeah, I was supposed to monitor something, huh? I'm supposed to monitor you
that's-
two.
that's okay.
I apologize. And then the thing we're going to do after the big event of meeting Emiliano Maguire Lueno is
Luano.
we are going to we're going to get Chris Check in here, and I'm going to do a quiz with the two of you, and it's just a series of random questions, some of which are about Catholic Answers Live, some of which are about major political figures, some of which are about slang terms.
Slang terms.
So, and we're going to see. I think
of
it's
which generation is my
it's-
question?
brand new, brand spanking new slang terms. So, and then we'll see after 6 questions which one of you is smarter, and
I don't think we need a quiz to figure that one out. I'll be honest.
that's mean. He's very smart.
You said it, not me.
All right. So we'll do that as well. But part of the reason why we're doing these pre-shows is, first of all, we talk about it all the time, and we finally got past the talking stage and decided to do it. But also, it's our pledge drive right now. So I don't know if is there anybody on the phones? Do we know? Is there anybody on the phones? If I were to give out the phone number right now,
Yes, customer service is on it.
customer service is ready to take a call. So if you would like to make a pledge, it will count towards the first hour match. So we have a $20,000 match. So if you wanted to give, $10 right now, it's going to get matched. It'll be $20. If you want to give, 20, it'll be 40. So you just
Keep
go
talking, I'm gonna grab 'em.
88. Oh, Emiliano Maguire is coming now. Oh, the big man's coming. 888-291-8000 is where you can call. Nobody's going to call now while there's the promise of a baby coming. 888-291-8000, or go to CatholicAnswersRadio.com. CatholicAnswersRadio.com. Here he comes, the newest member of the Lueno family.
Lujano family.
There he's in camera shot now. There he is. Oh,
There he is.
look at that face. You just know that's a nice person.
That is
you
a nice person.
You could tell from their little baby face like what they're going to be. Like out of Darren's kids, I could always tell which ones were going to be rotten and which ones were going to be good right from the time that I met them when they were babies. Look at him. You want me to I'll put your headphones on. Hang on.
Oh, look at this. How kind of you. There we go. Go. Thank you.
You're welcome. So his favorite drink is Topo Chico. Is that correct? or-
That's my favorite drink. He has a different favorite flavored beverage.
But he's like, how old is he? How old is Emiliano Maguire?
He is 2 months old.
And so that means it's been a long time since I had children. He's not eating steak yet, right? He's still
Not yet. We'll,
he's still
we'll
in
get
his
there.
chicken phase, or what? What does he eat?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, milk.
Is he just
So-
he's just a drinker so far?
Yeah.
Look at how sweet he is. All right, let's see if YouTube has anything to say about him. My comments are turned off on YouTube, but they'll come on in a second probably.
I'm trying to see if we can get an internship for him here, so he'll hopefully start switching cameras. Say something.
Oh my gosh, that was the best yawn. Hi, Emiliano Maguire. Hey, buddy. Yeah? How do you feel about your dad? What do you think about your dad? Nothing. Watch this. What do you think about your mom? How do you feel about your mom?
No comment.
Do you like anyone in your family, Emiliano Maguire?
He's a strong silent type.
All right, now we're getting yay, Cy and Edgar. Thank you, Big Stack, for that to get us started. Let's see. Whoa, so precious. That's from Daniel.
Bro does look so tired. Yeah, you are tired, huh? Emiliano. Huh? This is.
Go ahead. I'm reading the
Beyblade
comments.
ticklish? I don't know yet, actually. So.
You haven't tickled him yet? You haven't tried that? They
is
have
that?
to have a family meeting to see if he's allowed to. Are we allowed to tickle the baby yet? What does the doctor say? This is boring
Oh,
to you, isn't it? This
he's
is
boring.
Are you
It's okay.
bored?
It's okay.
That is the face of a lovely person, though. He's going to grow up and be friendly and kind to people, and he's going to be, in essence, to sum it up, nothing like you, Edgar.
That's fine. I'm okay with that. You know,
If he turns out to be nothing like you.
in some ways, yeah. Doubting Thomas can I pledge to be one-time donation. I'm anti-subscription. Absolutely.
Wait, how does that work? Tell me how.
You can do a one-time donation
On what?
on CatholicAnswersRadio.com.
Oh, okay. I thought they were going to do it on, because sometimes people give money on YouTube.
Yeah, that's his favorite snack, by the way.
His hand?
Yeah.
Oh, look at him. He's looking up at the lights. He's like, he's probably, wait, don't dim the lights. We don't give the baby cataracts. He's just a little tiny little baby. Stop looking directly at
Oh,
it. You're
there we
driving me crazy. It's really bothering me,
There you
baby. Yeah, so that's Emiliano Maguire. You do need to explain something.
Yes.
His first name is Emiliano. His
Yes.
middle name is Maguire.
Yes.
His last name, of course, is Lueno. But
Lujano.
how did he get the names Emiliano Maguire? Which I have said on the air, and I challenge anyone to argue with me on this point. The best name ever given to a baby,
I
Emiliano
completely agree.
Maguire.
I completely agree.
So Jordan's looking like challenge accepted. When my baby comes, I will defeat that. So how did he get the name, the fascinating, beautiful, enchanting name of Emiliano Maguire?
Well, we knew that we wanted a name that sounds good in Spanish and also, well, an English, I guess, name, or something that sounds good in both languages, basically. And we were throwing around a bunch of different names. I'll throw one name out there that we were considering, but now we couldn't do it after the most recent Pope. We were thinking Leo.
Oh, you were thinking?
Yeah, we were
naming him
thinking Leo.
Wait,
but,
why can't you do that? You can.
Well, because then everybody's going to think that we named them after the Pope.
Oh, we wouldn't want
We
that.
wouldn't want that.
Oh,
I mean-
oh, Lord, we wouldn't want that confusion entering the picture. It's like every time I meet a kid named John Paul, I'm like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, we all
I
know
get
where
it.
that came from.
Right. Well, Chris's son, John Paul, was
then
was-
Todd's son-
John Paul was in utero when Jackie, Chris's wife, met the Pope. So she named the baby.
All right,
they named
emergency alert. He's got to evacuate the building.
Oh, we can deal with a little bit of baby crying. What kind of first-time parent are you?
I'm a first-time parent, that's what that is.
Get the baby. Throw the baby outside. It's crying. Okay, have you taken him to mass yet? Has he been to mass?
Yes,
Or-
and he's cried. He's not cried. He's slept through all of them.
Oh, okay.
He's a
That's
good Catholic. He
That's
slept through
'cause
all of them.
Jesus loves him. All right. So then, so you haven't had the thing about, do I have to walk out? Do I not have to walk out?
Well, we've had to change diapers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, hey, don't talk
Oh, I'm
about his
sorry.
diapers. He
Sorry
doesn't
about
like that
dude.
very much.
Sorry, but I don't like talking about my diapers either, man. I know exactly how that is. All right.
Come on.
Emiliano is the cutest baby ever. I also love
going
Topo
away.
Chico water. Thanks, Jane. Thank you very much. All right. The baby has to leave now because FCC regulations do not permit that kind of chatter, that kind of clamor on the airwaves. Edgar Lujano, known to his friends as Edgar Lueno, the father. Lena, the mother, just leaving now. She's had enough of this. She's out. That's the best baby we've had on the air in a long time. I don't even remember. When's the last baby we had on the air? Was it Thomas's baby?
Has Thomas's baby been on?
Have we not had Thomas's baby on the air? I feel bad.
Baby the TikTok engine?
Little baby TikTok, yeah.
We still haven't had baby TikTok. So the name, you still want me to give you the name?
I'm just sorry because the camera was on nothing for a minute there, but I was just admiring Bender's camera work. He just shot the camera onto nothing for a while. But go ahead. The name, yes. Emiliano Maguire, yeah. How do we end up with, you wanted a name that because there are names that might be a nice Irish name,
Yep.
but when you pronounce them in Espanol, they no bueno,
Nope.
or they might even suggest a meaning that you don't want the kid to have.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Did we find one that has a weird meaning in Spanish? That's an
I feel
Irish
like you
name?
told me that at one point. Like you were like, that's kind of too close to this other word, and I can't remember what it was.
I don't remember either.
It was
But
probably Siobhan. Siobhan means something bad.
which
in
is funny
Spanish.
because Siobhan actually is also Irish
Oh, yeah,
Hispanic.
Siobhan Cruz. Yeah, that's
Siobhan
right.
Kelly Cruz. Yeah, exactly. So
Okay, so Emiliano Maguire. Come
yes.
on, let's do that.
So Emiliano, we just wanted to a name where my parents can pronounce as well. But the middle name, I'll start with the middle name. So Lena has family names that are passed on. I think her grandpa has the name Maguire, and her uncle, who is now I guess her godfather, is also Maguire. So we wanted to continue the name. So that's where the name Maguire came from. And I wanted a Hispanic name, and being a teacher, this is one of the things that you learn as a teacher. You start meeting a bunch of students with names that you used to like, and then you meet a kid with
Oh,
that
then
name.
you're like, I'm never naming my
never,
kid
nope,
Fred.
Nope.
Not after this monster. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so that's a thing. So there was a bunch of names that were thrown out the window after I taught. So Emiliano was one that still kind of stood its ground. There was one student that I had named Emiliano. He was a good kid. So I was like, all right, there's not a bad association there.
Okay. So we got Emiliano Maguire forever.
Emiliano Maguire, yep.
And you could give the next one the middle name McGuinn.
Probably not going to happen.
But-
We already have the next Irish middle name.
That's actually what I just did there. Tell Chris check that and see if he that's a 1960s reference, McGuinn and Maguire. But of course Chris knows what that is. McGuinn. Oh, he can't hear it.
Oh, there's
I'll
too
ask
much
him when he
chatter in
comes
there.
Do you want to have Chris come in? You know what? I do want Chris to come in for the quiz, but first I want people on the internet to feel free to ask any questions. If they'd like to know anything about Edgar in his role here, you'd like to know anything about what goes on in the Catholic Answers radio department, what we do with the money, if you want to know that, because we're raising money right now. Anything you want to know, we would be happy to take your questions. I made a little quip about McGuinn and Maguire, and I said, Chris will know what I'm talking
So
about.
we're getting higher in LA.
You know where that's at.
Sorry.
He still has no idea what we're talking about.
For all my millennials,
Everybody's getting fat.
for all my millennials and Gen Zers, I'm so sorry for the
All right,
for the boomers in the room.
that is a song by the Mamas and the Papas.
Okay, no idea.
And I don't have any audio equipment in here because it's a radio studio, but I would play it for you if I
Yeah,
could.
they weren't odd, but
Hey, you know what? If people
or
Quartet. Quartet.
quartet, yeah.
if people
Yeah.
donate, we'll be able to upgrade the studio and actually be able to do those things.
You do not want me to be able to do audio in here. That will. The best thing to do is keep all possible audio that I could do away from me.
Okay.
Except for the phone, because no, the audio needs to be controlled out
By Darren?
by somebody who knows what they're doing.
If we have all this money to upgrade the studio, can we spend it on like not
Tripping hazards.
Not- trying to kill everybody
not
coming in
nearly
here?
dying every time I walk in and out of
I
here?
wish we had a
We'll consider
camera
it.
where we could show what it's like to walk into this studio. It's a little bit like. Did you ever see that movie where Catherine Zeta-Jones had to steal a diamond? Do you remember that thing?
She has to articulate her
Yeah.
body in these.
It's like that.
That's a
into the city.
preposterous movie. Can I tell you why?
Why?
Because there was this sort of love tension between the 80-year-old Sean Connery
Right.
and the 20-year-old Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Right.
Nobody believed that.
No, but but they wanted Catherine Zeta-Jones in a cat suit,
Right.
trying to fight her way through.
Yeah, these laser
little
or
laser
whatever.
things,
yeah.
All right, I got no questions here. I'm going. Oh, well, we do have one person. That one Catholic girl said, "I'm going to go full Spanish names for my babies. Sorry to my future in-laws. They will learn." You might want a little flexibility. Is
Gotta
not
have some.
We actually do
warranted.
know who that one Catholic girl is, don't we?
Yeah.
Yes.
But
She works for us, right?
She's part of the council.
I don't know. I didn't know if I was supposed to say that out loud.
She's a Catholic Answers employee.
Yes, right. But I'm going to counsel flexibility on that. Okay, here we go. I'm going to do a quiz with you guys because I don't see any questions. Did you get any questions so far? Does anybody want to know anything about us? One
think
guy
that-
said, Cam said, hello. So will this start at 4 p.m. from now on? We don't know where you are, Cam.
So 4
what time
p.m.
does it usually start for you?
He must
I-
be
East.
in the Central Time.
Or Mountain? Well, is it Mountain? Oh, no, Central Time. Yeah, Central Time is 4 p.m. right now. So, no, that's not the plan, Cam. We're just doing that temporarily. Although, watch
Cam,
the
if you would
space.
like us to
Watch
add
this
an
space.
hour to Catholic Answers Live, where we do 3 hours instead and start at 4.
Or we do just a live stream. It doesn't have to be part of the radio. It can be a little more free flow, less breaks, things like that.
All right, let's do this. I'm going to give you guys each a Sharpie pen and a pad of paper.
Oh wait, I have to ask before. Samuel asks this question. He
Yeah.
says, "When will we see another Cy Kellett book? I haven't read Teacher of Strange Things yet. Don't be mad,
What's up?
It's,
That
that
camera.
way.
There's the camera right there.
Samuel. It's your lucky day.
I don't
Look
see.
at that.
Oh,
There
oh,
it
this
is.
is obviously a
the
delay.
camera's trying to focus that. It doesn't. It focuses on faces.
There you go.
So there you go.
Oh, I can do that 3D
Samuel.
thing.
Cy Kellett has
There
a
it
new
is.
book out.
How to talk about Jesus with anyone.
anyone.
And I'm the co-author on it. Steve Dawson is the primary author, and I'm
it's
the
coming
with.
into focus.
And thank you so much for asking that question. Let's
By the way,
send
that's
Samuel. Can somebody just, if Samuel will get in touch with us, we'll send him a free copy of the book. And I'd
There
be
you go,
more
Samuel.
than happy to sign
Send
it for you.
send your
Samuel.
address to radio@catholic.com.
There's going to be like 30 Samuels.
Oh, I'm
hey,
Samuel.
I was
I'm
Samuel.
Samuel.
Send me the book.
You have to prove you're Samuel.
Yes. All right, Samuel, will you send us that?
He said, "Oh, nice."
All
He's
right.
happy for it. All right,
Very good. Thank
You're going to get the first official, well, one of the first official copies.
All right,
Congratulations.
So here's how the quiz works. I give you each one of these, and you write your answer close to your vest like this. And then when it's time to give the answer, you both hold your answers up to the camera.
Okay.
So people will see your
The wide shot.
Luke's got to tell us which camera. Which are you going to use, this one or the wide shot?
Wide shot.
Which?
Do the wide shot.
Luke, use that camera. Go to that camera now. Are we on that camera or that camera right now?
We're on the wide shot. No. Go to the wide shot. Stick to the wide
Luke,
shot.
is my camera on? Is my camera on, Luke?
But that's not a real camera. We just put that to make you feel good.
Oh,
like you,
guess-
like we
yeah.
have a camera for you. That's we got that at the Dollar Tree. That's a kid's toy camera.
It's not. I should be on.
All right, so which camera should they hold their answers up to? Just tell me that one.
The
That
wide one.
Hold it up to the live one. So
Yeah.
you got that, Chris?
The far one.
When you hold
The
your
far
answer
one.
up, hold it over there. All right.
Oh, you're going to embarrass me.
It's time for
Do I
a
have to
little.
draw pictures for this?
No. You just have to write a word. And all right, question number 1. And you have to write an answer. There's no I don't know. You have to say something. Don't show it to each other and then hold it to the camera. Ready? Which San Diego-based Mexican gangster rapper is best? Once again, repeating that question. Which San Diego-based Mexican gangster rapper is best? Are you ready to hold up yours?
I'm ready.
Are you ready to hold up yours?
Yes.
It better say something on there, or you lose a lot of points. 71 points. if you
Okay,
don't-
wait a minute.
All
Wait
right.
a minute. Wait a minute.
Repeating for the audience so that you can play along at home. Which San Diego-based Mexican gangster rapper is best?
Okay.
And you're gonna just hold it
It's
up.
kind of bears best. Yeah. The
All right.
wide camera out there.
Hold
Ready?
it to the wide camera. Ready? Go.
Go. Can't even read it.
You can't read it at all.
Do it on,
What-
do it on side shot. Do it on the side
All right,
shot.
let me. What do they say? Just tell me what they say. What does yours say?
Mine says-
Señor Rapero.
Yes.
And yours says Lil Rob. All right,
right.
1 point. 1 point for Edgar. All right.
I feel like this is not going to go well.
All right. What is Lena's maiden name? No, just kidding. That's not. It's okay. That one. Let me be honest with
McGuire.
you, Chris. That does not count because Edgar and I planned that
true.
before. I
Okay.
said, "What's a question you'll know the answer
That's
to?"
a funny bit.
And so that doesn't count. This is question
So there's
number
no
1.
such person as Senor Rapero?
I'm sure
Señor
there is.
Rapero. He's got to be.
Rapero.
He's
I'm sure there is.
He's very well liked, Señor Rapero. Okay. In the National Catholic Reporter yesterday, Michael Sean Winters had an article.
Here we go.
Which pope did he name the Pope of the 20th century? You got to
Pope of
think
the
Michael
20th?
Sean Winters, National Catholic Reporter. Which pope did he name the Pope of the 20th century? Michael Sean Winters should call into the show sometime. We should talk. It would be nice to talk with Michael
He and
Sean.
I have corresponded.
All right.
I hope it's been nice. All right. We're not going to hold them up anymore because the camera can't read
just
them,
gotta
right?
show us the side.
There's no point. All right. Or Pope Francis,
Oh,
the 20th century.
20th century, not 21st.
I
Hey,
like
ask
it.
the question
Wait,
again.
John the 23rd. Okay. Which pope did Michael Sean Winters say was the Pope of the 20th century?
I think that's a good answer. John the 23rd. Or Paul the 6th.
Paul the Sixth.
Paul
Oh,
the
you
Sixth.
changed it. Paul the
Tim.
Sixth. Do we give him a point or not?
You can give him a point. That's fine.
You really? You're going to give him a point?
I mean,
You've
he
mellowed
wrote, he
as a
wrote the
father.
Pope of Mercy, right? He wrote the Pope of Mercy.
Pope Francis lived in the.
He did live in the 20th century. Yes, he did.
Is that because
Also-
what? Because he changed the mass? Why? For his
his mostly for his
for Humanae Vitae.
management of. Oh, I'm sure that.
Was that in the Winters column?
But the thing this is why I think Michael Sean Winter should call and we should talk sometime is. I kind of agree with him, at least to agree. I mean, I think it's very hard to get past John Paul II, but Paul VI was a great pope.
We were talking about his apostolic letter.
Evangelii Nuntiandi, and which is a favorite around here, and then of course Humanae Vitae. But I think Winters was mostly focusing on. I skimmed the article. I apologize.
I don't blame you.
He was no.
Just
Don't
kidding.
say
I'm
that
sorry.
about people.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry about that.
But I think he's mostly pointing out, and quite correct to do it. John XXIII called the Second Vatican Council, but the Second Vatican Council is Paul VI's council. I mean, the vast majority of it, its work was done
The
under
new
him.
mass is
By the
Paul
way,
VI mass.
Sean O'Vision said he would support 3 hours of Catholic Answers or an additional live stream on Twitch.
Oh, I like Sean O'Vision. He's from Prince Edward Island.
Oh yeah, right.
Sean O'Vision. It's Irish.
From the PEI. Okay, I got another question for you here. What new thing is happening in Major League Baseball this week?
Huh?
What new thing is happening in Major League
Can I-
Baseball this week? No, you can't ask for help.
Can I ask
Can
Thomas?
I?
Can I ask Thomas?
No.
I don't know.
What new thing is? Does Carrie know? Carrie knows. All right, you get a point, Carrie.
I know this is new, but I thought it was. I thought it was already underway.
Okay.
The Padres.
The Padres will win. That's wrong. What was yours? The pitch clock. No, we're already doing that.
We're already doing. But
This
that
week-
is new, right?
All right, I'm going to say a name.
Is
and
it the
then-
bigger bases?
No. This week, Jen Powell
Who?
will become the first woman
Umpire?
to umpire a Major League Baseball game. I would just say for those of you who think this is a great advance for women, NBA 1997, the
Ooh.
first woman. So all right, so nice job baseball for catching up.
Cowlick said female umpire.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cowlick said it. So Cowlick gets
I'm
gets
0
a
for
point.
3.
So
This is a great
the two
quiz.
of you are having a quiz against one another, and a guy on the internet is winning.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he has a Google thing in front of him.
Oh, that's true. All right.
Daniel said Boston Red Sox are on the rise, baby.
All right. Here's two that are related to this program.
Okay. Oh, this is going to be fun.
Now write this one clearly and get it right. What famous person had their first day of work the same week Cy started work here? What famous person, Darren knows this one, had their first day of work the same week Cy started
Can we
here?
get like a category of famous
No,
persons?
the name of a famous person. Once again, the internet will know it.
Oh, I
Don't
know.
look. Don't
I
you
know.
look at that. Because
I know.
What famous person? Do you want me to tell you when I started? Do you want me to
When'd you start?
Tell you what,
No, that.
Tell me your date.
No, do not tell him that. Don't tell him when you started.
When you started here, well, Catholic Answers? or-
Because that's going to give it away.
I think I know when you started. I think.
Are you going to write something down or not? What famous person started their first day of work the same day Cy started here?
in my answer.
Wait, I need a
And
second
once you
to
get
think.
it,
I need a second to think. Hold
stop.
on.
The Carrie's hiding around. No, it's not Carrie. Who's hiding around the corner? No, stop it. All right, you don't get any points for this. No points. No.
Am I right?
I can't read that.
It is Donald Trump.
Yes.
Donald Trump and I. So, did you get it correct? What were you, like 4 years old on that? Yes.
Donald Trump? Okay.
January of 2017, Donald Trump and I started the same week. I never lost my job, but but I was not up against the same kind of.
You don't dye your hair either.
that you know of.
Yeah.
No, my actual hair is beautiful blonde.
You know,
And
just
I
letting you know, people in the chat are also playing. So Cowlick said Steve Jobs or something. He got that wrong.
Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs was dead. He wasn't alive.
So how old am I, dude?
He might have
Tyler
started
says
it.
Betty
think
White.
Betty White. That's not funny. Okay. All right. What is the name of the tool that connects Catholic Answers Audio to EWTN for the live show. What is the name of the tool? Do you know this one, Darren? That connects Catholic Answers Audio to EWTN for the live show. You guys got it already? Oh, we got to let the people play it. Oh, they both got it. Do you have it at home? Did any of you say Comrex? That's right. We use a Comrex. I thought neither of you. I really thought neither of you were going to.
I'm down with the technology.
This is what I thought Edgar was going to do. I thought Edgar was going to do this. Oh, I know this. I can't think of it. I know this. I can't think of it. But it was right there.
I pay attention.
It's
at
that
work.
or TriCaster. Those are the two words I know about radio: Comrex and TriCaster.
Yeah, we got to get rid of the TriCaster.
We're working on it.
Okay.
Samuel says.
I'm
the
sorry
Holy
to the
Spirit.
TriCaster company. I don't mean to besmirch
Oh,
your
you can
very fine product.
You can full on share.
No, I mean,
Samuel guessed the Holy Spirit, by the way. He's not wrong either.
what, the Holy Spirit started
Yeah.
his job the same day that I did?
No, the connecting to EWTN.
Oh, we
it's
use
the Holy Spirit.
I see.
We use the Holy Spirit.
Well,
I don't think
both
it's quite,
answers
I
are
don't
wrong.
think it's theologically correct to describe the Holy Spirit as a piece of equipment.
I think that's true. I think you've been called out. Who was
Samuel, you better go to
Samuel,
confession.
you've been called out, buddy. All right, last question, and this one I am hoping will generate some conversation with us and with the people at home, because I am fascinated by this,
Okay.
the topic that I'm about to share with you. What does the contemporary slang word, a new slang word, what does the contemporary slang word clanker refer to?
Gosh,
What?
I knew about this.
What is a clanker? Do you all know? I know something.
know.
Even the young people. Do you know? John Versillo? No. What does the contemporary, brand new slang word clanker refer to? Do you have you already have it?
No, I have no idea what
Are
it
you
is.
waiting to copy off of him?
I have no idea. I mean, I can take a guess, but I'm sure that's not right. I'm going to say.
I got it. I think I got it.
I'm going to say this: a big failure.
A big failure. Oh, that was a clanker. Or an insult for AI or a robot. You are correct, sir.
Thank you.
When
Thank
your
you.
job gets taken over by a robot and people go, what happened? You go, I got replaced by a clanker. And that is, according to NBC News, a slur. You should not use that as a slur against robot people. But I think it's growing in use.
They may take offense.
But or maybe NBC News will take offense on their behalf. I think that's what they're saying, that they're willing to take offense for anybody. So the clanker thing is a big deal, though, because there is an enormous resentment against robots. People are.
I feel like every one of these questions was in a field in which I have absolutely no competence.
But that was the idea. Did you feel you were competent in these, other than the Mexican gangster rapper? Did you feel like
No,
oh
not
my
really.
gosh, if you want to take offense to that, you can. Go
He's
right
the
ahead.
one that gave me the question.
You know, I will say this. One of the things I was excited about moving down to San Diego, I don't know if you guys knew this, but San Diego is the birthplace of Mexican gangster rap. I don't know if you knew that.
How do you think we don't know that? What do you think we do on a Saturday night? You think we're just sitting around twiddling our thumbs?
Maybe.
Going to
Like-
bed early? Hitting the sizzler for the for the 5 p.m. and then going to bed?
All right, I have one thing for
I'm
you.
actually describing what I do on Saturday nights.
Hit up the
You,
Sizzler.
you do not go to Sizzler.
No, we don't. No, I'm just kidding about the sizzler.
All right.
Although, you go ahead.
I have an ad for you. Mm-hmm. All right, it's in your email.
I have to read an ad.
All right,
No, but
another
we
ad.
got to talk about the clankers. I wanted to talk about robots
We'll-
more.
we'll
that
come
was
back
like
to
a.
the
That wasn't just a question. That was a conversation
Okay,
starter.
we'll come back to the clankers because a clanker wrote this one. So you can.
Oh, this was written by a clanker.
It
Huh?
was written by Clanker. So
There's no hope of you getting replaced by a clanker, Si.
You know, I always felt that. Like the primary things I do are write and talk, and I just felt like
Yeah.
the robots ain't going to do that.
No.
But they can do it, Chris. They can do a pretty good job of it. So
it's time for another segment of Psy Speaks Gen Z Slang.
but this is an ad.
It's an ad.
Oh, for your
Okay.
new book?
No,
I don't know what
actually.
it's for. I don't know until I read it. He
Okay.
doesn't tell me.
Okay.
But I have to.
You're gonna like it.
I literally can't even. Was that good slang?
That's millennial slang. You can't.
That's
do that
really
anymore.
old.
That's old.
There was a joke when my kids were little, like, why do teenage girls love odd numbers?
Why?
Because they literally can't even. You never heard that joke?
Oh, that is good.
You knew that joke, right? That's a dumb joke, and then somebody got mad at me because don't insult teenage girls. I was like, I don't think that's an insult. To
The teenage
girls.
girls aren't laughing at him. He's
Oh, they look mad. Sorry.
All right, read your ad.
All right. Okay, wait. I gotta bump this up. I can't read it. My eyeballs aren't strong enough to read it that small. Okay, wait. Tell me why you're not already booked for the Catholic Answers cruise on the Rhine in 2026. Like, bro, Catholicism and castles, saints and schnitzel. We're literally sailing down a postcard. Germany, France, Switzerland with the Catholic Answers crew on board, dropping theology like it's hot. Picture it. Morning mass on the water, deep convos with apologists, and then boom, you're in a medieval village living your Catholic Eurocore fantasy. And yeah, the talks are fire, but also the views, the vibes, the vino, unreal. This ain't your grandma's pilgrimage. This is this is holy girl summer or holy guy autumn. I don't know. Slay either way. Go to CatholicAnswersCruise.com and lock it in.
CatholicCruise.com.
Oh, it says Catholic Answers. Sorry.
That's wrong.
Go to CatholicCruise.com
Catholic
and lock it in. Jesus, the Rhine, you, let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. All right.
That is, did AI write that?
Yeah. hey.
Were you happy with that? I love that there are actually Gen Z people here that tell me whether I did it goodly or not.
I'd love to have some Gen Z people on our cruise.
Well, let me ask the Gen Z people, and you can just nod or shake your heads. Do you have any concern that clankers are going to replace you? You don't feel it? You don't? Like you're going to get a job and there's not going to be a clanker that can do it? You are? What are you all going to be priests and nuns? Like, actually, we made a robot priest, so. Oh, sorry, I apologize.
It's fine. I think he should be what's it called? I was about to say canonized. When you make a priest.
Ordained.
Thank you. Yes.
So you guys don't have any worries about clankers? Like, what do you think you're going to do for jobs? I'm just curious about what I'm talking to the Gen Z people in the studio. Like, what do you think you'll do for jobs? What did they say, Darren? What did they say?
We can hear you.
Oh, they don't know. They don't. Oh no, he's coming
no,
in.
we can hear you from there.
No,
We can-
Yeah, talking to that mic.
No, we're scared of people. If it's a robot, send it in. But
I was going to say, just a theoretical question. How would the farming industry work with AI?
How the farming industry? Oh, it already works with AI.
I think they would.
Can it make its own machines to take care of animals and stuff?
I mean, have you not watched Interstellar? I mean, there's AI like tractors and all that. So
Yeah, I think that like in California, up at one of the universities, Berkeley or Stanford, was testing AI strawberry pickers, and they just train the AI to tell when the strawberry is ripe, and it just goes up and down the row and picks the proper strawberry.
I don't think people realize how much technology is involved in our farming industry already. So
Yeah.
we're working around
for
berries for
decades,
years.
cows have been milked by machines.
Yeah,
right.
and the technology in the milk barns are insane. I've seen some they look like carousels.
Look at how passionate he gets about agriculture.
I've-
He's like,
I grew up in the Central Valley. I understand agriculture.
Let me just tell you something.
And the
We're not Luddites. We know how to use the computer. Okay, so tell me about the cows barns.
They treat them like, well, it depends on the dairy, of course, but they treat them like, I would say kings, but queens. They treat them like queens. And they have these carousels, and they understand when to jump in, when to sit in the stall, and then the suction goes up on the udders, and it's just like it's all automatic. It's very easy. You only need a few people to run a milk bar nowadays.
And the tractors are all guided by GPS.
Yep.
They don't waste a single pass.
Yep.
Yeah, but like when
terrifying.
when all the fruit and vegetables can be picked by machines, that changes the rural life completely. Yeah. I don't like to worry about it because I always feel like people are creative. They'll think of things to do, but like people work the land. That's a basic human thing, and now it's going to be clankers.
Yeah, so something that's at risk here, of course, are the individual jobs of human persons and their livelihoods, but there's also the loss of the knowledge.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a really good point. Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't
The
get
stuff that
passed
gets
from one
handed down.
generation to the next because people don't know how to do it because a machine is doing it now. and so they're disassociated from it.
But they
And
can
there's
watch
also
YouTube videos.
Well, there you go.
I mean, it's now they're college courses now. I mean, you can actually get your degree in agriculture. What's the
Well, that's been true of a long time.
Well,
other
the ag
thing-
schools are pretty old, like
Yeah,
Texas
A&M is the big
and-
one, but the agriculture and
UC
mining.
Davis, all that.
But the other thing is this sort of labor is formative.
Yeah, right. It's good for the
it
soul.
contributes to the formation of the human person.
That's what that is part of what worries me, is that even if you said,
There's
well, look, there'll be plenty of jobs repairing the robots and programming the robots and running the robots. Yeah, but the fact that nobody's actually touching the soil anymore, nobody's visiting the trees, like these things are an important part of the human
Relationship with
society.
creation.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, with the created world.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
Right, and I actually think part of that, and I've said this when I've been in the Midwest talking to farmers and whatnot, I think part of why you often see cities, their politics is insane, but you go out into the countryside and their politics is sane. Is that the farmers are actually touching real things every day. Like our souls are made to smell a cow and to till soil and to be among the trees and the air and all that. And in the cities, people are so cut off from that now. I don't think their brains work.
I
right.
made this very point when I was in Idaho in June, which is a saner part of the country than other parts. Idaho.
Yeah, right.
I think so. And you know who else felt this very strongly? Is Thomas Jefferson. He's explicit about this.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Jeff in the comments said probably people made the same argument about diesel tractors when they replaced the oxen plow.
But they were true. Like that's what I'm saying is that, like, Jeff, when we consider, and now I'm not saying that tools are bad or the improvement of tools is bad, but the fact is we have fewer people living on farms. Farm communities have been devastated in the United States for the last at least 100 years, probably maybe 120 years.
It's good to look at the ox, or rather the tractor, as an improvement over the ox, but it might, in other ways, it's not an improvement. For one thing, it greatly expanded the scale of agriculture. And
Well, it also made it possible for corporations
Yep.
to own the vast majority of land.
It made it less human. It's less human scale.
And so now I'm not against the diesel tractor. I do agree there has to be a kind of here's the deal. Jeff. I would say this is the problem with your argument. There has to be prudence applied here. To say one tool is bad is not the same as to say all tools are bad, or to say this tool will have an effect no other tool has had is not the same as to reject all tools. So, you can. I remember. I think it was Pio Nono maybe, who was saw the first train locomotive come into Rome and said, "What an instrument of the devil." Well, you go, okay, that's foolish looking back on it, but think of what Rome was before all of that smog and noise and rushing. And so there is a sense in which the Pope was not entirely wrong. I think we have to be willing to say, we are actually making trade-offs with all of these advances, and some of the trades are. It's not entirely clear what we're getting back.
You know
for
who's
what we're trading.
who's very deliberate about this are the Amish, and of course they come with their own set of difficulties, of course. But
They never answer their phone, for one thing.
I'm with Cowlick on this one. Cowlick says for a job, I'll just have to make clankers. And
Yeah.
Tyler reiterates a clanker of clankers.
Yeah, but what were you going to say about
I was
the
just
Amish?
going to say the Amish will take an individual piece of technology and say, okay, we will use it this far. So, for example, they will use the tractor inside the barn to move bales up into the loft or something like that.
Oh, they will.
But they won't use it necessarily in the field to plow the field. They'll stay with the team of horses or something like that. So they'll just they will sort of job out in a kind of rabbinical way, if you will, what the effect on the human person is going to be, and on the culture and on the society.
Right.
I actually think there's a lot of wisdom in that.
There is.
Actually, I know there is. I don't think it. I know there is.
Right, but that's what I'm talking about applying prudence. That the communities themselves have to be prudential about what if you look out as a community and say this is going to, if you take the efficiency of the world economy, this is obviously a benefit. But what's it going to do to our community?
Mm-hmm.
And then I think we need to empower those communities to make the choices. Like, I have never been, and I'm not talking about Donald Trump. I'm not trying to do politics, but just the theory of it. I have never thought a zero tariff policy is a good idea. You leave your local industries, towns, communities undefended against a world economy that can essentially just outbid everybody in Pennsylvania,
Yeah,
or
of
outbid
course.
everybody in
Isn't
Ohio.
the new polity guy's whole argument too for kind of making it localized government?
Oh, for sure.
And
And a
local-
localized economy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think tax policies that protect local industry make a lot of sense.
Yeah, because because otherwise, if our government won't defend certain things, those things are not defended.
And the contrary argument that you hear is frankly just so tired and boring. Oh, well, because of this multinational economy, you can buy cheap stuff. That's typically the response.
I
Well,
love the cheap stuff.
I don't.
but
I really don't love the cheap stuff. In fact, I think stuff is too cheap. How many pairs of socks do you have? How many pairs of socks do you have? Edgar?
Well,
Too many.
I mean, I don't even know how many pairs of socks I have.
Are
It's
you
nuts.
counting the ones where you can't find one of them, or are you?
You know what?
only-
why
Can
you
I
have
tell
so
you
many.
something? We had a sock bag for the longest time, and I said, "This is stupid," and I threw it away.
Sock bag?
Is that-
A bag that contained
Oh,
the
yeah.
unmatched socks.
Oh,
And
so
we-
you might go back and there's
Yeah, like you think, like one of these days that sock is going to show up, and then every now and then you get it out and you see if you have any matches or
But,
whatever.
but Jimmy Akin needs to tackle this. How is it possible that like socks, like they literally just disappear? Like
It's the void.
They
Because there's too many of them. If you had 5 pairs of socks, you'd know where they all were. You would just take better care of them.
well, that I think is true.
I
You
think
do
clothes
take-
are too cheap. That's the problem
that-
with clothing. Is they're too inexpensive. We come by them so cheaply. Yeah. Yep.
Well, I don't. I'm struggling with that because you think of the, like the, all right. Let's just take like the single mom. She's got to dress her kids. Do we really want clothes to be more expensive for her?
I
Or-
think no, I don't, obviously, but I also think that you're raising one social or cultural or moral problem that
Oh, yeah.
comes with a lot of other explanations other than the fact that she's finding it difficult to clothe and feed her kids.
Daniel's asking, have you ever heard of the sock goblin?
I literally have not, Daniel. Thank you for chiming in. Explain the sock goblin to me. Like, it's weird. My favorite pair of socks went into the laundry one day, and one of them never came out, and I keep the other one. It's right there in my sock drawer, like, it's just like shines every time I open the sock drawer, but I can't find the partner.
That's why I wear religious socks, not to give them an ad or anything. But
Demons can't get
they're
'em.
all different, so they're all very bright, so you know which.
If you
ones
want to
are-
give an ad for sock religious, I'm kind of mixed on wearing holy people on my feet, but
Having Our Lady of
I
Guadalupe on your
will
sock.
say this: you
Yes.
don't you wear them around the images of the saints
is on your shins,
on
your calf or
your
whatever.
your shins,
yeah.
What do
your
you think about
ankles.
tattooing saints? on
I'm
your body?
just there's one tattoo that I
you
would
go.
get.
You have a saint on your.
No, he's showing his
your
socks.
sock.
His
I thought
holy
you were
socks.
like, that's not a tattoo, Jim.
Yeah.
That's a sock.
No, I'm opposed to all tattoos with one exception.
What's that?
It's if I went and did the pilgrimage in the Holy Land, and you've got that family that's been doing tattoos since I don't know the 12th century or something. I would get the Holy Land tattoo, like on your wrist.
Oh,
or
is that where you
whatever.
get it?
I
Okay.
think so.
I
yeah.
thought people got it
Other
here, but-
than that, I know I'm going to have tons of disagreement from people, but that's okay. Disagree. It's marring your body. It's marring your
I
body.
have a lot of homies that have rosaries tattooed on.
I know. I think your homies should say the rosary.
Yeah.
I actually don't mind if they hang them from the mirror.
Yeah, but they're like they get to the hotel and they're like, oh, I forgot my rosary. No problem.
Hail
And they
Mary,
just-
Fuller.
Work their way.
I feel
up
certain
their arm.
that is not what they do.
Really? You don't think they do
So,
that?
so if you get a
I don't
tattoo
know, I
of,
don't-
of our Lord or a lady, is it not good to venerate that image?
Wait, Doubting Thomas said, all right, just donated. Who are the 3 people in the studio? Okay, that's a good question. Well, first of all, thank you for donating first and then asking, Doubting Thomas. This is Edgar Lueno. That's his name, Edgar Lueno.
Lujano.
I've read it before. I've seen it written out. Edgar Lueno.
What does Edgar do?
Edgar's the producer of Catholic Answers Live, and I don't know what else. He's a bunch of other things.
He live streams.
I live stream. I do the things.
Yeah, you do
I
the
also
things.
do all the Respuestas Católicas, all the Spanish content
It's
stuff.
true.
And then I'm I had a problem talking about myself. I don't know.
I'll talk
very
about you.
emotional.
This is Cy Kellett. He's the greatest host of the greatest radio program of all time.
He
I
works,
love that introduction.
He
And Chris-
works 2 hours every day. Yeah,
I never worked the
And
whole
he-
2 hours,
and
dude.
he kind of looks like George Clooney.
Kinda.
In the movie about Catholic Answer, Cy will be played by George Clooney.
I hate when he he says that. It's because my hair.
Is it because you don't like
Looks like
George
George
Clooney? I'm
Clooney's
not a
hair.
big
I
George
don't-
Clooney fan myself, but you do remind me of him. You know, suave and charming, arrogant, smug.
Keep going. I like it. Chris Check is the president of Catholic Answers. He keeps all this running.
El Presidente.
He's the reason we have to raise money today because he's like, if you like your job, go raise some money. So that's not really true. You don't talk to us.
Thanks
that
for
way.
the donation, Doubting Thomas.
Yes, Doubting Thomas. Thank you very much.
Don't out anymore, Thomas.
Wait, let's have somebody. Could somebody please do a super chat? I just want to see a super chat today. I don't care how much it's for. It gets me so excited when I see a super chat. I feel like this is the way. This
That's
is the
how
way
you-
of the
that's
future.
how
I feel
you-
like I'm living in the future. when
That's how
someone
you
super
don't
chats
get
me.
super chats is by asking for super chats.
Really? Like,
Yeah.
but we have really nice listeners.
It's like
and
Fight
they-
Club.
What
You
if they
don't
know
talk
I-
about it.
Talk about what?
The first rule of
Exactly.
Fight Club.
I don't mean to answer, but am so used to answering.
Oh, that's Big Stack. It's our friend Big Stack.
Oh, because he answered. He wrote Cy Edgar and Chris.
I am looking forward to meeting Big Stack at our conference.
Oh, so am I.
Yeah. So hopefully more people from the chat get to come to our conference.
Have
and
you
just hang
have
out.
you met his son, Stack?
And his grandson, Little Stack?
Yep, exactly.
Is
Right.
will this be Big Stack's first conference?
I believe so.
Big Stack, answer that for us. We got to know. Is this your first conference?
What's this cool conference you guys are talking about?
Oh, Catholic Answers Conference, CatholicAnswersConference.com. Find out all about it. Where it's last weekend of September every year right here in sunny San Diego. We have the best apologists in the world and all kinds of wonderful speakers, including Chris Stefanik this year, who's giving our
Do you want to read the Gen Z
Keynote.
one that I gave to you yesterday about the conference?
I want to tell this before you read that.
Go ahead.
I'm super happy Chris Stefanik is coming. I'm super duper happy David Anders is coming. He's just the best. But I have a dark horse that everyone's going to love, and it's Amy Hamilton.
Yeah. I really like Amy Hamilton. I think she's wonderful.
magnificent. My friends, if you have been wounded by the sexual revolution, including self-inflicted wounds, which is often how those go, or you know someone who has, which is every single one of us, Amy Hamilton has got just a great message of hope for your heart.
I spoke to her for like 90 minutes, and I learned.
That's one of the best episodes of the Cy Kellett Show.
Oh,
Has that been
Shauna Vision gave us $5 super chat. I asked for it. It came in your face.
You have to read the comment.
Oh, just for Cy. Thank you, Shauna Vision. Thank
Has
you very
the
much.
Amy Hamilton episode of the
It's aired, but we're going to redo it. We're going to do some-
Re-release.
we're going to do a re-release on it and get it a wider audience because I've actually thought about these things a lot, as most Catholic people have. I think,
Yes.
what happened in the sexual revolution? What are the consequences? All that. In 90 minutes talking with Amy Hamilton, I think I learned more than I had learned prior to that. Like, she said so many things that just, oh, that clicked. That made sense. You did make my day there, Shauna Vision. Thank you very much.
Now you have to read the Gen Z ad for the conference because we have Gen Zers in the office now. They weren't here yesterday.
Okay, but where is it? It's in my inbox?
It's from your inbox from yesterday.
All right, let me hang on. I gotta find my
It's
inbox.
Gen Z.
Does it end with goo?
Just says Gen
Let's
Z ad.
goo.
Let's go. Okay, yeah, here it is. Hey, fam, it's your boy, Cy. Ever feel like the faith is this big, beautiful thing, but kind of hard to unpack? Yo, fam, it's Cy Kellett.
Oh, sorry, that was my fault. You got to restart at that line.
Wait,
Anyways,
so you wrote two intros and
did,
I read them
sorry.
both?
Sorry.
That makes me look like that guy on the Anchorman.
You are that guy, Anchorman.
Well, knock it off.
All right, go.
No, I literally just did the thing. Like, you just put words in front of me and I just read them.
Go for it.
All right, start with the second.
Start with a second.
Okay. Yo, fam, it's Cy Kellett. Big vibes incoming. The Catholic Answers Conference is happening this September in San Diego. Theme, go and make disciples. So yeah, we're not just talking faith, we're launching into full apostolic main character energy. And guess who's keynoting? Chris Stefanik. Man's gonna have you hyped to evangelize your barista, your boss, and your group chat. We got Jimmy, the Brain Aiken, Carlo, Mr. Clarity Broussard, sorry, Carlo. Carlo, Mr. Clarity Broussard, Joe Heschmeyer, aka Catholic John Wick, and yours truly, vibing, preaching, probably slaying heresies midair like, I don't know what I'm supposed to say after that. Plus, chill Catholics, no cringe, Eucharistic adoration, check. San Diego Sun, check. Catholic brain power and vibes, quadruple check. Don't ghost this. Hit up CatholicAnswersConference.com and register now. This is your sign. See you in September. Oh, this is your sign. Like they're looking for a sign. Yeah. This is your sign. See you in September. Did I do it right that
All right.
last time?
How was that? Look at that,
You
two
guys
thumbs
are
up.
my favorites.
They're
You always
easy-
make me feel
yeah,
good.
yeah,
You
easy
always
audience.
make me feel good about that kind of stuff, fam. No cap.
All right, Sean Vision. I'm working on getting bits and all that stuff for Twitch, so we can start getting subscriptions and start getting donations on there.
Whoa, George just said I will pay money to never hear Cy say fam again. I'll never say fam again.
How much?
How
How
much
much?
money are we talking, George? Because
It's gotta
we
be at
played
least
the
four
groovy
figures.
music yesterday for $5. Okay, so
But this is never again.
but I don't care. How many times have I said fam?
I can find other words.
I never need to say fam again. Do I have to give the money back if I accidentally say it?
That's a good question.
George, make an offer, man. This is real. This is happening, George. I need Cy to say fam Bender. Knock it off, Bender. If I get money, I will. It will leave my vocabulary and never return, George. Thank you very much. Oh, you two look like you just want to talk with each other for a while.
No,
All right.
I will
I'll
say
let you guys chat.
Before we do that, I want to do one.
ahead and chat together.
One
Before we do
quick
what?
pitch. One quick pitch for you can go. That's fine.
Really?
Yeah, go.
Where do you have to go, Si?
Thanks, fam.
You have to do show prep? Is this show prep?
This is show prep. This is
I'm a
euphemism.
professional.
I want to make a quick pitch to people. So if you're liking these streams and you want to see more of this, especially on Twitch or YouTube or wherever you're listening, donate. Oh, Cy, when you come back, I got to tell you about the super chat. There you go. Anyways, but if you like this stuff and you want to see more of this stuff, donate. CatholicAnswersRadio.com, and it opens up the opportunity for us to do things. Chris, how long have you been here at Catholic Answers?
I joined in 2012, so you do the math there. What would that
Okay.
be? 13 years? I think it was
15.
13 this August, 2012.
12.
What year are we in now? 25.
13 years,
25 minus 13 is 25.
I think so. Something like that. It's 13 years.
13 minus 12. Yeah.
Sure.
13 years, 10 as president.
10 as president. All
But
right.
in fact, it was August I started. So
Let me ask you, what's
13 this month.
What's one of the most? I mean, you've been on the radio before since I'm assuming since you started here or started.
Occasionally they let me on.
Yeah. What's one of your most memorable moments of being on the or actually listening to the show?
I have a clear memory of listening to the show long before I ever came to Catholic Answers. And it's when I lived in Rockford, Illinois, and was working for the Rockford Institute, and catching the show driving home and hearing Patrick Coffin and Tim Staples, and it was a Holy Thursday episode, and hearing Tim unpack the Bread of Life discourse, and I'm thinking about it now. My hair is standing up. I said, this is just extraordinary. How much this fellow knows and how accessible he is making it. And here it is, free for me on the radio. And that memory must go back 20 years or something like that. And but I mean, too many. Every time I host a show, I'm stunned by the capacity and knowledge of our apologists and our guests, but also their ability to well, I mean, we use this word a lot, but it's true, just to make it super accessible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm super happy to be part of it.
Yeah.
In fact, here's something I really love about the show. I love it when people come and visit us at our digs here at 2020 Gillespie Way. You can get a tour of the building and see our chapel. We have Jesus here in the building. It's great. He's the one guy we can't replace, I like to tell the staff. And you can watch the live show. So if you ever are in Southern California or anywhere near Southern California, come on over for a tour. We love showing people the building, and you'll get that joy vibe that this place is suffused with.
Yeah, absolutely. Thomas wants to know if we want to come one day for the Catholic Answers Conference, is the schedule available to decide on a day? If not, when?
There is a day pass deal. So go to CatholicAnswersConference.com and hit the register page, and I think you can buy a one-day pass. It may only be for the Saturday or for the, maybe you can get it for the Friday or the Saturday. I don't know. But Thomas, it will show you who's speaking on those days. And if everything I've said to you is not true, I'm pretty sure it is. I didn't mean to lie. Call Siobhan, and she can at Catholic Answers, and she can set you up the day pass.
There are day passes. You can come. So Doubting Thomas, come so you no longer have to doubt, and you'll have all the answers that you need.
You'll have a great time.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, we're coming up to showtime. So as far as I know, we don't have anything scheduled for the future for more live streams like this just yet. But hang in there, my fellow streamers, and God willing, we'll be doing more of this. And oh, by the way, Cy, welcome back. Your friend George gave a super chat.
It's a super chat.
So that I don't say that word anymore.
20 bones.
George, thank you. Remind me never to say that again. For the rest of my life, I will not say
But
that
just
word.
the word fam, you can still say family.
Oh yeah. It's just that word.
Just
right.
that word.
That one particular word.
That one right there.
Okay, cool. Does
I
anybody,
didn't know you came at such a easy price there, Si.
Well, I mean, if you pick a word I hate,
we should renegotiate your salary.
anytime, Chris. I'm ready to renegotiate anytime. I will have my, you know who my agent is? Les Grossman. I'll have Les Grossman negotiate.
Way over my head.
WKRP in Cincinnati.
No, that's Les Nessman.
Les Nessman. Oh.
Les Grossman is Tom
what?
Cruise in
Oh, that's right.
Tropic Thunder. Tom Cruise in Tropic
Yeah.
Thunder.
What's her name? Just died.
Who died?
WKRP in Cincinnati. Lonnie Anderson.
Oh, Lonnie Anderson. Yeah.
80 years
right.
old, my goodness.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, we are on the air in about 3 minutes, so I'm going to go and prepare for call screening.
Can
So-
Chris stay here and talk with me, or no?
Yeah,
Does he have
of
to
course.
go?
Yeah,
But
100%.
but what's the general impression? Do people want us to do
They
more
do.
live
They
streams?
do. You got about 9 people who want you to keep doing this.
9. That's like that's double Trent Horn's audience. Let's
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah. I think these are great. We need to start baking these into the operation here.
We'll make it happen.
Yep.
As long
Okay.
as I'm included, by the way, because this is so much more fun than, as I said, writing strategic plans.
We do need those strategic plans though, in order to move forward. So.
we're still gonna need some
Yeah,
strategic plans out of you. So
All right, see you guys.
peace, brother. Are we gonna leave just messes everywhere in here? All right, let's clean up. Let's tidy up. Get ready
All right.
for the show.
I'll see
we don't even know who won the quiz.
you-
Who won the quiz? I'll see you in a
Half hour.
35, 40 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Glory to
something like
God.
that. Thank you, Chris Check.
My pleasure.
All right, I think you know what? Let's call it a wrap. Darren, let me say goodbye to everybody, and then we'll call it a wrap, and then we will look at how neat we got it. We just tidy up. Take a minute, people. Tidy up, and your whole show is better. That's my advice to you, just starting out in radio. Few minutes of tidy before you start, and the whole show will be better. And also have a trash can close by. Those are my 2 tips for radio professionals. I really appreciate you all staying and visiting. And thank you for asking me. I think it was George that asked me about the new book. Looking forward to talking about it sometime. And we will take a 90-second break, and we'll be back with Jimmy Akin. We'll do a full hour of Ask Me Anything. I thought the show yesterday with Jimmy Akin, the first hour, was fantastic, especially considering it was a fundraising hour. It was like Jimmy killed it on the fundraising, and we got to answer a bunch of questions. And so I'm hoping for just as good an hour today. So I don't know, 70 seconds or so. We'll find out. We'll find out if we can, if lightning will strike twice. Right back with Catholic Answers Live. Hello and welcome to Catholic Answers Live. I'm Cy Kelly, your host. Jimmy Akin is our guest this hour, and it's Ask Me Anything. And we mean it, especially when Jimmy's on. I got to say, we mean it. Ask me anything. 888, and not the me being Jimmy, not me. 888-318-7884 is the number. 888-318-7884. I do suggest you dial early, or at least write down the number, because I'm not going to be saying the number a lot today. We have that other number to give out. 888-318-7884 is the number to call and ask your question of Jimmy Akin. Everyone is welcome. And we really do want you to feel welcome. Some people are reluctant. They maybe think the show is for other people, like Catholics, if you're not a Catholic. But it's for everybody. And if you have a question, we would delight us to do our very best to get you an answer. 888-318-7884. All right. Now I'm going to give out the other number, because with Jimmy Akin, we are going to be raising a little bit of money today. We're going to do our best to raise some money today, because each quarter we come to you for 6 hours, and today it's the last 2 hours to ask you to support us for the next 3 months. We have $55,000 to raise today, and that is not an outrageous amount for a third day of a pledge drive for us. It's manageable if we see the same generosity we've been seeing. And we really have been seeing a wonderful generosity. It costs, in order to be fully funded, we need $145,000, because we do have a lot of people who have signed up to be monthly donors already, and so we count them in the amount that we need. And so in order to raise what we need to supplement those monthly donors, we need $145,000, and right now we're at about $90,000, maybe a little more than $90,000. So something just under $55,000 is needed today. The number to call, 888-291-8000 to make your pledge. Let me just give you the details before I bring Jimmy in, and those details are this. We have a $20,000 dollar-for-dollar match for any donation this hour, 888-291-8000. Then we have a second match for anyone who will make a pledge of $500 or more. If you're able to make a pledge of $500 or more, it will be matched a second time by a second donor. 888-291-8000, or you can go safe and secure online to CatholicAnswersRadio.com. Jimmy Akin is senior apologist here at Catholic Answers and the proprietor of Jimmy Akin's Mysterious World. Welcome back, Jimmy Akin.
Hello, Cy Kellett. How are you doing?
I feel pretty good. People have been wonderful about calling. We're within striking distance.
We are. It's a little bit more of a stretch, because we've been raising about $20,000 an hour. We got 2 hours. That would be $40,000. We need to raise 55, which is a little bit more than we've been raising the previous 2 days. But people often come through on the third day, and so the number that we need to raise, the 55,000, that's within striking distance. And with the support of the listeners, we can get there. It's just a matter of doing it. We do need to hear from people early. If the later we wait before we start hearing the phones ring, the less chance that we'll make it. So we do need to hear from people. Also, yesterday I mentioned that we are going to need some people who are able to make larger gifts. And I mentioned that, you may need to check with a spouse, you may need to check with a banker or a stockbroker or someone like that. So I encouraged folks to be thinking about that yesterday and to make the needed checks so that they'd be in a position to be able to call in today. And so this is the day we need to make good on that. So please, folks, do give us a call, 888-291-8000. Once again, the number to call is 888-291-8000. And you can also go to CatholicAnswersRadio.com and donate from your desktop, from your laptop, from your iPad, from your iPhone. Any way you can get online, you're welcome to donate at CatholicAnswersRadio.com, and it only takes a few moments.
Please do pick up that phone and call 888-291-8000, or as Jimmy said, go to CatholicAnswersRadio.com. One of the things that will happen on the last day, if the kind of experience plays out the way we expect it to, that is, it will become busy later. And late in the hour and late in the show, we tend to get flooded with calls. So early callers mean so much to us on a day like this when we have a long way to go. but we're within reach. We can be fully funded. Anybody who will call early is really doing us a double favor. 888-291-8000. Again, it is safe, secure, online. Work on your phone, work on your computer. It's optimized for whatever you've got. And all of it goes towards the same match, CatholicAnswersRadio.com. Now, every single line filled up with questions for Jimmy Akin. So I'll just tell you the situation one more time, and then we'll go to some calls for Jimmy. And the situation is this. One caller is on at the moment. 9 of our colleagues are ready by their phone to take your calls. So perfect time to call. If you will start filling up those calls, those lines, it will make a great deal of difference to us. And it'll also allow us to do what we did yesterday with Jimmy, which was let him answer some questions, which is really what we're here to do. Let's fill up those lines if we can. 888-291-8000. Take advantage of that $20,000 dollar for dollar match. We will start with Peter in California. Peter, welcome. Got a question for Jimmy?
Hi, yes, thank you so much.
Sure.
My question is, can the love of your child or spouse ever rightly compel a person to deprioritize their own salvation or relationship with God, or willingly risking or surrendering it in order to secure the good of the one they love, even their spiritual good? And to be clear, I'm not talking about like if sin is justified or something like that. A more deeper question is, can Catholicism make space for this kind of radical self-giving love? As seen like by Moses and Paul, and for the sake of their children and spouse.
Okay, Peter, I had a little difficulty hearing you. It seemed like there was some kind of clicking or cutting out going on there, but I think I got the essence of the question. And the essence is one can love one's spouse or children or others in such a way that one takes risks in life. However, there's a fundamental equality between all people, and so one person's salvation is as valuable as another's, and it would be a mistake to prioritize someone else's salvation over one's own. Our fundamental obligations as established by God are to start, with caring for ourselves and then for other people based on their degree of relationship to us. And that kicks in most firmly in regard to salvation. Your ultimate responsibility is to see to your own salvation, because you're the only person who has ultimate control over that. You don't have direct control over your spouse's salvation or your children's salvation or anything like that. The only person that you have direct control over their salvation is yourself. And so that's what we all need to be principally concerned with. Then there's a question of what goods are being balanced here. Now, one can love one's spouse and children and want to provide good things for them. Like, let's say, in the case of your children, you want to provide them with a college education. Well, college educations are good things. Those are good things to provide for one's children, but it's not as important as your own salvation. What happens in this life, whatever benefits are achieved in this life, are for this life. They're finite in nature. They are not of infinite value the way eternal salvation is. So if you're risking your own eternal salvation in order to give your children a college education, that's a bad trade-off. The salvation of your own soul is more important than being able to give a college education to your children. On the other hand, let's suppose we're comparing equals. Let's suppose we're comparing your own salvation versus the salvation of your children. Well, here, you're at least dealing with things that are on the same level, because your salvation is the same in value as the salvation of a child. And so regardless of the age of the child, whether they're small or grown up, it doesn't matter, because our lives whatever our finite age is finite, and there's still an infinite future ahead of us. So they're equal in value. So we'd at least be in the ballpark of where it could potentially make sense to take some risks, in order to try to provide eternal salvation for your children. Let's suppose you have, I'm just making up an example here, but let's suppose that your daughter is in a brothel and you need to get her out of that brothel in order to promote her eternal salvation. And that means you need to walk through the brothel in order to get her, even though that's going to expose you to some degree of temptation. Well, okay, that would be a risk that could be acceptable. It could be acceptable to expose yourself to some degree of temptation, especially with the intent of, I'm going to resist all this temptation, and if I fall, I'm going to repent afterwards. But you could still undertake that risk in order to provide a greater chance of salvation for your daughter. That would be one example. What would not be acceptable is saying, I'm going to be okay with going to hell in order to try to help someone else get to heaven. We see the unacceptability of this in an expression that Paul uses in Romans chapter 9, where St. Paul says he could wish that he himself were cut off from Christ and cursed for the sake of the Jewish people. He could wish that, but he knows that's going too far. So he, in fact, doesn't wish that. God does not want us to pit our salvation against somebody else's. And so it would be a mistake for Paul to say, hey, God, thank you for all the grace you've given me, but I'll just go to hell if you'll save Israel. God does not want these two things pitted against each other in that way. He wants a both and solution where both Paul and the Israelites get saved. And so Paul should not be willing to just accept damnation in order to help someone else get to heaven. And in the same way, we should not be willing to just accept our own damnation to help someone else get to heaven. We want everybody, including ourselves, to be in union with God, which is to say in union with the source of love, and be together in heaven in love. So while it can be understandable on a human level to have such natural affection for people, that we're very concerned for their salvation, the same way Paul is describing here in Romans 9, it would be going too far to literally say, oh yeah, I'm just willing to accept damnation for the sake of someone else. That is not God's will. He wants us to work for the salvation of everybody, including ourselves.
Thank you very much. Appreciate the question and getting us started today, Peter. And maybe we'll get to talk again one time. Right now, I want to remind folks where we are. I'm just looking at the numbers here. Well, you know what? Lots of folks called there for a few minutes, and we took our match down from 20,000 to 19,500, and we just need to keep bringing it down. And the way we do that is you call and make your pledge. There's a $20,000 match now, $19,500 left in it. So any pledge you make is going to get matched 100% right now. Please.
And another way to help bring it down is by taking advantage of our second match, which is every gift of $500 or more is matched a second time. So it's effectively tripled. If you give $499, well, then that'll be matched once. It'll take it up to $998. But if you can pay that extra dollar and make it $500, that becomes $1,500 for us. It's effectively tripled. So we really want to encourage people, if you're at all able, whether it's as a one-time gift of $500 or whether that's, spread out over the course of a year, that's fine too. That brings $500 down to, less than $50 a month. And lots of people can afford that, and that will all be tripled as long as the total amount of your gift is going to be 500 or more. It'll get taken up to 1,500 or whatever triple the total amount is. So we'd love to hear from you. It doesn't have to be 500 all at once. It could be 500 in easy monthly installments. That's just great too. Also, we have some thank yous, and that's another way we can help bring the amount we need to raise down, which is by having Cy Kellett tell us what the thank yous are, so we know what those are as well.
888-291-8000 is the number to call, and you'll also get the thank yous if you go. Everything is the same basically. If you decide to go to CatholicAnswersRadio.com, but if you come in at a $10 a month pledge, if you want to make a $10 a month pledge, you become a member of our Society 315 Defenders. We send you a T-shirt, we send you a coupon, we send you a car magnet, but also you become a member of a kind of club that gets all kinds of additional materials and access to things. We'd love it if you've never given before and you could do that. We would be delighted to send you the box full of the T-shirt and everything and have you be a member of that club. Just go to CatholicAnswersRadio.com and make your $10 a month pledge or call 888-291-8000. If today you could make a gift of $50, it's going to be doubled right away. It becomes $100 to us. And we're able to send you a copy of The Faith Unboxed, the wonderful book from Andrew Petiprin, who has been such a great guest on this show, in which he looks at the boxes, basically, that people put the Catholic Church into and shows how the church never quite fits into those boxes. And if we let the church out of those boxes, we can really experience the graces God is intending to give us. So at the $50 a month level, at the $50, if you just call up and make a gift of $50, it'll be doubled and we'll send you that book. Maybe you could come in at the $250 level. Maybe you could make a gift right now of $250. We'll give you The Faith Unboxed, but we'll also give you the book Canceled from Steve Weidenkopf, the wonderful Catholic historian Steve Weidenkopf. 12 Catholic heroes that history turned into villains. On the cover is a picture of Marie Antoinette holding a piece of cake, and you know why, but Marie Antoinette is not what the secular world says she was, and many other people got canceled who were good Catholics, as a matter of fact, and you want to learn about them? Get the book Canceled from Steve Weidenkopf with a $250 gift that is immediately doubled. As Jimmy said, any gift of $500 or more is tripled because we have two matches for gifts of $500 or more. So if you were able to come in at the $1,000 level or at the $5,000 level, you become a member of our higher giving societies, and there are also benefits that come with that. Just ask about them when you call 888-291-8000, or they're on the website as well, CatholicAnswersRadio.com. Jimmy, I have some good news. You were talking about people asking their spouse and checking, and could they make a larger donation? I just mentioned the higher giving societies. Well, a wonderful person, Ramona from Delaware, just gave $5,000. And so we are a lot closer to the $55,000 we need to raise today and much closer to using up our match right now. Thank you so much, Ramona, for that.
Amen. And we need to hear from more folks like Ramona, or, whether if you're able to give a small amount, that's fine. If you're able to give a larger amount, but in installments, that's fine. If you're able to give a large amount all at once, that's fine too. We really appreciate whatever help you're able to offer the show. The number to call is 888-291-8000. Once again, it's 888-291-8000. And, Ramona is an example of how some folks are able to support the show in larger measures. And I know there are other folks out there who are just like that. So we need to hear from them too. Once again, it's 888-291-8000, 888-291-8000. I say it slow because I love you.
And thank you for those who are calling. There are 5 calls on right now. Several calls I saw were taken care of very quickly, and that's great. So if you need to get off the phone quickly, just tell them that. They'll get you done in about 90 seconds. 888-291-8000. But because the lines are continuing busy, I'm going to let Jimmy continue to answer questions. I'm going now. Can I go to it's okay to go to the line? Okay, Julia in Washington, you are up next. Go ahead with your question for Jimmy.
Hi.
Hi.
Let me get you. Okay. Hey, Jimmy, I just have to ask you a quick question. I listen to you guys all the time. I'm so thankful and grateful for all the work you guys do. It's just beautiful. Did you ever get the pecan pie in a jar that I sent you for Christmas like 2 or 3 years ago?
Oh, well, I would assume I did. However, I was also in the process of moving 2 or 3 years ago, so it could have been dislocated.
Okay.
I'm afraid my memories of specific Christmases that long ago is not as bright as it could have been. I have a memory that's really good for some things, like remembering facts about church teaching, but is not so good for other things, like what did I get in the mail 2 or 3 years ago. But thank you so much for sending it.
Yes, I just love your analogies and comparisons to pecan pie. It's heartwarming. It's cool to know you.
Likewise, and pecan
So
pie
I
is
have a
awesome.
So I have a question about my 2 of my 6 children are coaching. Their coach is an MMA coach, and they're trying to get in the circuit. So there's a lot of influence, and he's a very godly man, but not Catholic. Recently, he gave them each a Bible and is starting a Bible study with them. And again, in that sport, there's a lot of respect. It's all about respect. So they kind of feel, called to go. My question to you is: this Bible? Let me get you. I have to get 2 different things. It's called the Passion Translation. It's a New Testament Bible with the Psalms and the Psalms and the Proverbs. Yeah. And my question is there anything I need to be concerned about them being led astray? We Catholic homeschooled all 6 kids, daily mass, all of that. They're in their 20s now.
So it's the Passion Translation we want to know. Are there any problems with that?
Okay, so the Passion Translation is a fairly recent edition of at least part of Scripture. It is not a Catholic translation, and as far as I'm aware, there is not a version of it that is approved for Catholic use. So there's not like a version that has an imprimatur, as far as I'm aware. Having said that, I wouldn't automatically rule it out. What it means, if there is an imprimatur, is that it can be used in more circumstances in the Catholic Church, but there's no barrier to read in church law. There's no barrier to read in Bibles that don't have an imprimatur. You just need to be a little careful with them. Now, in regard to the Passion Translation, my understanding is that even though it bills itself as a translation, there's actually some discussion about whether it's technically what's known as a dynamic equivalence translation, which is sort of a loose translation, or whether it crosses the line into being what's known as a paraphrase rather than a translation. And that line can be a little hard to discern. Now, one of the advantages of both dynamic equivalence translations and paraphrases is they can be much easier to read, but they achieve that readability at the price of risking greater translator bias, because either the translator or the paraphraser has given themselves considerable liberty to rephrase things in a way they think that will be more understandable. And that means that they are risking injecting their own ideas into the text to a greater degree than if you're using what's known as a formal equivalence or a literal translation. I don't say don't read dynamic equivalence translations or paraphrases. They can actually be quite useful, not only because their readability, but also because they can help you see new possibilities for what the text might mean. But I think you need to balance, anytime you're using one of these looser translations, you need to balance it by reading another translation that is more literal, so that you don't become completely untethered from what's in the original text. Now, the best way to be sure you're not becoming untethered from the text is to read it in the original Greek, Hebrew, or Aramaic. But that's not possible for most folks just because they've never studied those languages. And so the best alternative is to get a literal or formal equivalence translation, like, for example, the Revised Standard Version Catholic Edition or the English Standard Version or something like that, and read both. So you get more than one perspective. And that's really the value of any Bible translation, is it gives you a perspective on what the text says. And having different Bible translations of different kinds will give you multiple perspectives, and that's better. That having multiple perspectives is better than locking yourself into just one perspective and just using one translation. It's actually better if you use multiple translations with multiple different translation philosophies. So that's what I can mention in terms of the Passion Translation. I would say if they need to go to this Bible study or they want to go to this Bible study, that's okay, but pair it with a knowledge of their own faith and pair it with a more literal translation that they can compare things to.
Hey, we've got 9 lines open. If you'd like to call and make your pledge, lots of money left on that $20,000 match. 888-291-8000.
Catholic Answers Live would like to take this opportunity to thank our partners in airing our daily program. Please support the stations and networks that carry us each day, ensuring that we have a platform for broadcasting the show. And please bear in mind that while we do not have to pay for airtime on our affiliate stations, neither do they contribute to the operating costs we incur. It's a great relationship, but it requires that we turn to you, our devoted listeners, for your prayers and financial support to cover our ever-growing expenses. Please call 888-291-8000 right now and help to keep Catholic Answers Live strong. That's 888-291-8000. Or you can donate securely online at CatholicAnswersRadio.com. What began as a humble 1-hour daily show that was carried by 4 radio stations has, with the generosity of many fantastic people like you, blossomed into a 2-hour broadcast heard on hundreds of AM and FM stations, the internet, Sirius XM radio, Facebook, YouTube, and via podcast. We don't make that possible, you do. We simply cannot continue this media mission without your most generous gift today. Call 888-291-8000 or log on to CatholicAnswersRadio.com and donate now. People tell us all the time how much they depend on Catholic Answers Live to help them better learn, live, and share their faith. What they're really saying is they depend on you for that. Will you come through for them right now? It only takes a couple of minutes to make a huge difference at 888-291-8000 or CatholicAnswersRadio.com. Again, 888-291-8000 or CatholicAnswersRadio.com. No matter how much you give, be assured of our gratitude and know that God will richly bless you. Phone 888-291-8000 or go to CatholicAnswersRadio.com. It's important that you take this important step right now, today, to make sure that Catholic Answers Live is here tomorrow and for years to come. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Welcome back to Catholic Answers Live. I am Cy Kellett, your host. Jimmy Akin is our guest. It's Ask Me Anything this hour. We did have a little bit of phone trouble, but if you'd like to call, I'll give out that number again. And you could probably hear it. There was a little clicking on the line. It was hard to hear the callers, but I think it's all working now. 888-318-7884 is that number to call if you'd like to ask Jimmy a question. 888-318-7884. Let me report on the other thing that we're doing this hour. Each quarter, we come to you and ask you to help us be fully funded so that we can give this show away free. For 27 years, this show has been given away free to anybody who wants to broadcast it, and hundreds of radio stations broadcast it. It's on websites, it's on people's apps, it's probably on things that I don't even know that they exist. But that's why we get calls from all over the world. It's delightful for us, and we hope you like it when we talk to people from Europe and Africa, from Asia, and from far, far away places like Alaska and Hawaii. If you can help us now, I will tell you, every pledge you make now is going to be matched up to $20,000 this hour, 888-291-8000. We do need your help, however. We've got a long way to go to be fully funded. By the end of today, we are done asking you for this quarter. We will not ask again. And so if you could help us make this show available for free all around the world, 888 888-291-8000 or safe and secure online to CatholicAnswersRadio.com. I'll tell you this, I'm going to turn it over to Jimmy, but there are 12 lines open, and that's a lot of our colleagues just sitting ready to take calls. So if we could fill up that line, if you want to give $1, give a call, we've got a line for you. If you want to give $1,000, we've got a line for you. 888-291-8000.
And Cy, I want to just update folks a little bit because I want to let them know where we are with respect to our two goals. So we have the first goal, which is to raise $20,000 in this hour. We have a match for that amount, and we really want to get to that match amount. Also, if you're able, either with a one-time gift of $500 or more, or a set of gifts spread out over a year, that together total 500 or more, it'll be matched again. So it'll effectively be tripled. Now, in terms of getting to that first match amount of 20,000, we are just about halfway there. We're about $9,000 raised this hour. So we need to make another 11,000. So we're just under halfway there, which is actually a better position than we were in at this time yesterday, where we got to the halfway mark in the first hour, and we were only 25% of the way to our match for the hour. Now we're just over halfway through the hour, and we're not quite halfway to the match amount. So that's actually a better position, but we still have less than half the hour to go, and we do need to get to that $20,000 level in order to obtain all that match money. So please give us a call at 888-291-8000. 8,000. I know Cy sometimes says it fast because he gets excited, but 888-291-8000 is the number to call. Then there's the second goal we're working towards, which is 145,000 overall for this drive. And for that, we need to raise, we've made a dent in it, but we need to go beyond the $20,000 for this hour. We need to raise, between this hour and the next hour, we need to raise a total of $45,000. So that's doable, but we need to hear from folks. So please give us a call at 888-291-8000. Once again, 888-291-8000. I say it slow, like I said, because I love you and because I'm sometimes a little calmer than Cy, maybe. I don't know.
Pretty much everybody's calmer than I am.
I won't debate which one of us loves the listener more, but that's something you can figure out on your own. Having said that, you can also go to CatholicAnswersRadio.com. Once again, CatholicAnswersRadio.com, and donate online if you're like me and are sometimes an introvert and don't want to talk to someone on the phone, or don't have someone to talk to on the phone, because you could be listening to this show anywhere in the world. You might not be able to call in on our toll-free North American line, but if you're in Singapore or Zimbabwe or Andorra or wherever you may be, you can use Catholic Answers Radio, and you can even use it after this drive finishes. You can use it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, from anywhere on the world. And even if you're up on the International Space Station, my understanding is they've got internet connectivity up there, so you don't even have to be on Earth to use that. But please do either give us a call at 888-291-8000 or go to CatholicAnswersRadio.com. We need to hear from you real quickly.
888-291-8000. 13 lines open at the moment. A few more of our colleagues got on the line and are ready. The biggest people know that the second half of the hour is usually more busy, but that is up to you whether or not it is more busy, and we need some calls right now. We've still got well over $11,000 in match money available this hour. If you make a pledge of $100 right now, it's going to be doubled to $200. If you make a pledge of $10 right now, it's going to be doubled to $20. And as Jimmy said, if you're able to go $500 or more, there will be a second match. We have a second match available from another donor who actually, I know, we were doing very well in that department, and our donors made more money available for that today. So please pick up the phone, 888-291-8000.
And just Cy, because I know you don't like doing math on the air, I've done the math for you. And if you want to break that $500 to get to that triple match, if that's just $42 a month. So 42 or more dollars a month, and that will get triple matched. And so it'll add up to 500 over the course of a year, and that'll become 1,500. So it's not that big of a stretch. Lots of people could do $42 a month.
888-291-8000. I want to get back to the phone lines and let Jimmy answer calls. There are still 11 lines open. Could we have your help in filling those up? 888-291-8000. In studio with us, Chris Check, president of Catholic Answers.
Cy, Jimmy, I was really glad that Jimmy did some math there. Very edifying. I want to round that number up from 42 to 50.
Is that how rounding works?
Yes.
Okay.
How about we just do this? Let's. There's 10 lines open, so let's try to get to 0. 888-291-8000. I'm inviting everyone who would like to see his gift to or her gift to Catholic Answers tripled to call in and become a $50 a month pledger. $50 a month. Your gift will be tripled across the first
Wonderful.
12 years of your gift. $50 a month, and
12 months.
yeah, you won't notice it.
888-291-8000. 10 lines open. Let's use those lines up. 888-291-8000.
Let's do the $50 a month challenge, and you will become a member of our 315 Defenders, our monthly Givers Club, stewarded by the great Emily Torres. Lots of benefits attached to that. 888-291-8000. 10 lines open, and a lot of match money yet to get.
888-291-8000. Now we're into single digits. That's
Please
making
keep
me feel a
calling,
little
my
bit.
friends. This is a great opportunity. Call and say, I heard Chris and Cy on the radio, and I really want to become a $50 a month giver.
Again, I'll just say the number one more time, and then I'm going to let Jimmy answer a question so that you have time to dial those of you that have decided now to fill up those lines for us. Thank you very, very much. 888-291-8000. Jimmy, this question came from Twitch. We have actually a lot of viewers on Twitch now. Johnny in Rhode Island wanted to know,
I think Johnny is on line 3.
Oh, is Johnny on line 3? I apologize. I misunderstood what was going on. Thank you, Jimmy. I appreciate that. Johnny, go ahead. You ask your question, Johnny. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just making sure the audio on my computer is not disrupting the call. All right. First of all, thank you, Jimmy Akin, for all your work. I've been a huge fan. My main question is, as Cy Kellett hinted at, is parapsychological phenomenon more conscious or subconscious? So to put it respectively, like in my world as like a musician, if you told me I want you to play a G major chord over a certain pair of beats and we're going to measure phenomenon versus something, I want you to play this fugue in the key of G major and we're going to measure that phenomenon. Like, which one do you think would have more results? And that kind of thing is like it kind of relating to subconscious or conscious phenomenon.
Okay, Johnny, let's get an
If
answer
that
from
makes
Jimmy.
sense.
Okay, so this is actually a subject that now the Catholic Church has no teaching on this. The Catholic Church doesn't really veer into areas of science, and parapsychology is a science. Specifically, it's a science that studies psychic phenomena and the survival of bodily death. And so there's no church teaching in this area. The Catholic Church allows scientists to try to figure this out, just like it lets scientists in every other field try to figure out what's true scientifically about their field of study. So Catholics have had different opinions on this. Now, there have been highly respected theologians and doctors of the church like Pope St. Gregory the Great and St. Thomas Aquinas and St. Augustine, who were either open to or actually believers in what today would be called psychic phenomena. For example, St. Thomas Aquinas referred to what today would be called ESP, or extrasensory perception, as natural prophecy, to distinguish it from the supernatural prophecy that God gives. So Catholics are allowed to believe in and test and experiment with these ideas. What I can do in terms of your question, Johnny, about conscious and subconscious operation, since the church doesn't have a teaching here, is I can tell you what parapsychological researchers have found. Now, if you study parapsychology, which is one of the sciences that I study, you will find phenomena like ESP explained in terms of consciousness, but that just means something that's not strictly material. It just means it's connected with mental phenomena somehow. When it comes to it, does it need to operate? Does ESP and other similar phenomena, do they need to operate above the threshold of consciousness so that we're aware of them? Or can they operate below the threshold of consciousness so we're not aware of their operation? Researchers have done a lot of experiments, and in recent years, they found a considerable amount of evidence that we experience, and this is everybody, not just trained psychics, but actually everybody experiences psychic phenomena subconsciously all the time. It is just something we use to navigate our environment according to standard parapsychological results. Sometimes it bubbles up into our conscious mind, but primarily it operates subconsciously. And that, if I understood your musical analogy correctly, it is kind of like the difference between playing an instrument without really having to think about it versus thinking about every single move you're making while playing the instrument. And psychic functioning seems to work the same way. It's primarily carried on a subconscious level, but there are things people can do consciously to try to evoke it. But one of the things that they need to do to try to evoke it is not overanalyze it. If people start overanalyzing what they're doing, they'll mess it up. Just like if you're playing an instrument and you start thinking super carefully about what each finger and each puff of breath or whatever the instrument is that you're doing, you're going to mess up playing the instrument. There is a heavy component that is carried out on the subconscious level, just like a proficient musician is going to carry out most of their instrumental functions subconsciously. And I hope that helps.
Thank you, Johnny, very, very much for the call. I do realize that there's a little trouble the listeners having hearing the caller, so we'll try to we'll ask callers to be very, very precise and quick with their questions, just because it's a little trouble hearing them. But you haven't had trouble hearing us ask you to call. We're down to just 4 lines open now, and we are in the last hours now. We're coming into the last minutes of our Catholic Answers quarterly drive. $11,000 in match money left. 888-318-7884. No, excuse me, I beg your pardon.
That's the studio line.
That's the studio line. The number to call to make your pledge. We're now under $10,000 left and about 16 minutes to go to the top of the hour. Please pick up the phone now and call 888-291-8000.
So now we're in a position where we're falling a little bit behind. We're 3/4 of the way through this hour, but we're still only halfway to the match. So we have fallen behind. Now we really do need to hear from folks. I mentioned yesterday people who may need to make larger gifts. We are going to need to hear from some people who can make larger gifts, but we're going to need to hear from everybody, regardless of how much you're able to support the program. Yesterday, during this hour, I talked about one of the passages where St. Paul discusses the theological principles in giving. That happens to be in 2 Corinthians chapter 9. It's the famous God loves a cheerful giver passage. But there's an even more explicit passage which I alluded to yesterday in Galatians 6, where Paul articulates the same principle about sowing and reaping. And in Galatians 6, he gives an even bigger promise than he does in 2 Corinthians. He says, the one who receives instruction in the word, and that's what we try to do here on Catholic Answers Live, is give people instruction in the Word of God. So that's what we're all about. And St. Paul then says the one who receives that instruction, which is the folks in the audience who are listening to the show and drinking in all the theological expertise we have on the show, let the one who receives instruction in the Word share all good things with their instructor. And what Paul's talking about is giving donations to help support the teaching of God's word, because as Jesus said, the worker is worth his wages. And also these days, if you're running an internet ministry and a radio show, you've got bills to pay in order to make those connections to get the word of God to people. So donations are needed. And St. Paul then backs this up. He says, do not be, the very next verse, he says, do not be deceived. God cannot be mocked. A man reaps what he sows. Whoever sows to please his flesh, which means keeping all your money for yourself and not supporting the preaching of God's word, he who sows to please their flesh, from the flesh will reap destruction on the day of judgment. Whoever sows to please the Spirit, which means donating generously to support God's work, from the Spirit will reap eternal life. So he's promising an eternal reward for using financial resources to help propagate God's word in the world. And he says, let us not become weary in doing good. You know, sometimes people do that. They start on a path, but then they can get tired, you know, and they are tempted to drop off the path. But he says, let us not become weary in doing good, which in context means donating to support God's word. For, he says, at the proper time, and here he's talking about Judgment Day, at the proper time, we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. So please claim this promise that St. Paul has of reaping the harvest of eternal life on Judgment Day that you can enjoy for all eternity by sharing all good things with those who are teaching God's word here on Catholic Answers Live. The number to call is 888-291-8000. Once again, it's 888-291-8000. And you can also go to CatholicAnswersRadio.com.
We are heading into a very quick break, so perfect time to pick up that phone and call. Still $8,500 left in our match for this hour. 888-291-8000.
Catholic Answers Live.
In Morse code, the sequence SOS is a distress call. It's been said that it stands for Save Our Souls. Well, right now our world is in big trouble, and we're putting out an SOS call for help. Will you answer that call? St. Paul Street Evangelization, a Catholic nonprofit, has hundreds of teams who share the good news with souls who don't know Jesus. Catholic Answers is supported in part by St. Paul Street Evangelization. Visit streetevangelization.com to get involved.
Welcome back to Catholic Answers Live. 8 people on the line making their donation right now to the Catholic Answers Live quarterly pledge drive. 8 lines open, so 16 of our colleagues waiting to take your calls. They're right here in this building with us. These are our colleagues. They got other jobs to do, but they take the time to answer the phone during the pledge drive. Call and talk to one of them right now. 8 lines open, 888-291-8000, and $8,500 left to go in our match for this hour. If we make the match this hour, we are much closer to meeting our overall goal of $145,000 pledged. So there's another call. Now we're at 9 and 7. 7 lines open at the moment. 888-291-8000. I do want to remind folks of, and I say this in part because the phones have been steady, and we haven't filled them up yet, but they've been steady. And for those of you who can make those larger donations, I just want to specifically ask for your help now. Are you able to do a $500 donation, a $1,000 donation, maybe as Ramona did earlier from Delaware, a $5,000 donation? Because we have a second match for those larger donations from a donor who will match it a second time. So that means that if you make a $500 gift right now at 888-291-8000, it's $1,500 to us, and that's a real match. We don't see the money until the match is made.
Cy, that includes anybody who's capable of making a $50 gift a month, or as Jimmy said, $42. If you can make $42 a month to Catholic Answers, that comes out to $500 a year, and that gift for the first 12 months, that will be tripled as well. So if you want to break that $500 gift into monthly installments, $42, or round it up to $50, 888-291-8000. That will count towards that triple match as well. So please, those are the gifts we're looking for right now so that we don't leave any money lying on the table, which is its eye. It's lying, isn't it? Yeah, it's lying on the table. 888-291-8000 because, as Cy says, it's a true match. We don't get the gift till we meet the number.
Let's use it up, though. Just 5 lines open now.
And as every science fiction fan knows, 42 is the answer to the great question of life, the universe, and everything.
Yeah.
So if you're a science fiction fan and you know that reference, please give us a call and donate 42 or 50 or whatever you can. The number is 888-291-8000. If you're able to donate just $42 a month, that becomes $1,500 for us over the course of a year.
Yep.
And not only do you get great apologetics, but Douglas Adams references. Where else are you getting that?
No one
on
else.
Catholic Radio?
No one else. 888-291-8000. 888-291-8000. CatholicAnswersRadio.com. My friends, there are 5 lines open and about 5 minutes left in this hour. So let's get those lines down to 0. If there are 5 people who are not picking up their phone right now, here's my invitation to you to call now. Become a $42 a month giver if you can, or make a one-time gift of $42 or $50, whatever it is. Gifts below $500 will be matched. Gifts above $500 will be matched twice. If you've been holding off making $1,000 or $2,000 or $5,000 gift to Catholic Answers, this is the perfect time because that's going to be $2,000, $3,000, or $6,000. Or 15,000.
Well, 5 lines open and $7,000 to use up in the next 7 minutes. So if we can come in at $1,000 a minute, we'll get there.
And we want to be sure we can continue strong. We don't want the airwaves to become a long, dark tea time of the soul. So we need to continue at 888-291-8000.
5 lines open, my friends. 888-291-8000. Just a few minutes left in this hour. Please help us meet this match.
6 lines open, 888-291-8000. I got to say, I don't know that people always understand it, so I do want to repeat it. That the way that it works is, I mean, really, this apostolate, Jimmy was here. You and I were not, but Jimmy was here when the apostolate really stepped out in faith and decided, let's make a radio show there are no Catholic radio stations. Like there was a few, but very, very few.
Yeah, there were 3 or 6 or something.
Right, and the strategy was, we're not going to charge people for this.
Right.
If people will pay for us to make it, and it's some of the best apologists that have ever been on the air, from Patrick Madrid and Jimmy Aiken to Tim Staples and Matt Fradd and Jason
Patrick
Everett.
Madrid. Oh, you said Patrick Madrid.
Yeah,
right.
And I'm probably leaving people out, but
Mark Brumley.
That's what you're doing. When you're giving to Catholic Answers Live, you're just making it possible for us to do the show and give it away for free to the world. 888-291-8000.
Now, Cy, I'm going to have to, in just a few moments, I'm going to have to say so long and thanks for all the fish. But before I do that, I wanted to note a couple things. The first one is this is a great time to call because we're so close to the end of the hour. You're not going to miss anything. So this is really a great time to call, either while we're still talking on the air or in the very brief gap between the hours. The number to call is 888-291-8000.
4 lines
Once
open.
Again, 888-291-8000. I also wanted to note that an anonymous donor has just called in and says he'll be sending up $1,000 from his donor advised fund. So that's going to be tripled. That's going to become $3,000. And he asked for prayers for his family to return to the faith. And that's something that is so close to people's hearts. I really want to encourage them to pray that this anonymous donor's family will return to the faith, and everybody in similar situations. Also, I wanted to note that Ryan has started a second donation of $50, which is he's already apparently donated $50. He's made another donation, and he's also going to be starting OCIA, or what used to be called RCIA, in a couple of weeks. So there's another testimony from someone who's not even Catholic yet, who sees the value in the show. And if you're Catholic, don't let people who aren't even Catholic yet outdo you. Give us a call. You should see the value of the show just as much or more as folks who aren't yet Catholic. Please give us a call at 888-291-8000. We're heading into the break. The music tells you that, so you're not going to miss anything. Now is the time to call.
Let's get the line.
888-291-8000.
There's 5 lines open. Let's get those down to 0 over the break. And my friends, if you don't want to put a large sum on your credit card, just tell whoever you get, I want to send in a check. We'll send you an invoice and an envelope, and you can fulfill that way.
888-291-8000. I want to thank our guest, Zaphod Beeblebrox. Thank you so much for the hour.
2 heads are better than 1.
Also known as Jimmy Akin. Hey, we're taking a very quick break. Perfect time to call. There are 3,461 match dollars left to use up. Could you help us use those up? 888-291-8000. 888-291-8000. Right back with more Catholic Answers Live. Welcome back to Catholic Answers Live. I am Cy Kellett, your host. Fired up because we're coming into the last hour of our pledge drive. And look, for us, the number is 145,000. That's the one we know. We hit 145,000. We are solid for the next 3 months. Given the fact that we have lots of folks who have in recent years signed up to be monthly donors. And at the moment, right now, as we start the last hour, we're 37,000 away from that. Have we ever had a $37,000 hour before? Yes, we have. Is it hard to do? Yes, it is. But ready to come to you and ask you for your help and support this hour. Last hour, we met the match. So that's 5 hours in a row of meeting the match. That is just as good a news as can be. This hour, the same match we have had for the last 5 hours. This final hour of the Catholic Answers Pledge Drive, there's a $20,000 match for anyone who gives in any amount at 888-291-8000. Right now, 12 lines open because there was a big rush there at the top of the hour, but they're open again. So a great time to call, and we're renewed in our match money. So if you want to make sure your money's getting matched, we're at the beginning of the hour. It's all getting matched up to $20,000, 888-291-8000. Also, we still have the match money for those who can give $500 or more. So we're going to actually, if we're going to make, are we $33,000 away from the total goal, Darren? Okay, so we're within striking distance. But if we're going to make that $30,000 goal this hour, we're going to need some folks who can give $1,000, $2,000, or maybe even $5,000, as Ramona, God bless her, did last hour from Delaware. So could you pick up the phone and call right now? 11 lines open. Early in the hour is better than later because it allows other people to get in later in the hour. 888-291-8000. Chris Check, president of Catholic Answers, here with me.
Cy, it is, we're getting on the end of the week here and the end of the day, and, you know, my mind starts to fail, so I'm trying to keep up with you.
Okay.
So $20,000 is going to match any gift that comes in the building.
That's it, yes.
Right, so 888-291-8000, from $5 to $5 million. Well,
no.
Well, it won't be matched because it's up to $20,000.
Yes, right.
Okay, so very good.
You scared me there for a minute.
So
no, if you want to give $5 million, the answer is yes. But I just don't want to mislead you.
And by the way, if you're uncomfortable putting $5 million on your credit card, just call, let the person know, and
just Venmo it over.
We'll send,
yeah, we'll find a way.
We'll send an invoice. Okay, so $20,000 for any gift, and then you said something about $33,000. So I did some quick math in my head, even though I studied English. So that's $13,000.
Yeah, that goes beyond the match.
The difference. Yeah. Okay, so there's another $13,000 that's going to match again gifts of over $500.
That's not exactly how it works. But
see, this is why I'm asking you to explain
let me just see if I can explain it the way that.
Wait,
I don't know if
before you do, my friends, there are 7 lines open. We have an hour left on our challenge. We have a long way to go. 888-291-8000. Okay,
888-291-8000. In order to be fully funded for the next 3 months, we need to raise $145,000. We are now $33,000 away from reaching that amount. That is the $33,000. We are now $33,000 away from being fully funded for the next 3 months. Our match money for this hour is $20,000.
But there's some other match money that is going to double that again, and that's an undisclosed sum.
They're just going to tell us when we're out of it. That's basically where we are.
So that could be $1 million.
I'm
pretty sure it's not.
It's not $1 million. Why do you keep saying that? It's not $1 million.
First time I said $5 million.
Yeah. Okay. So it's coming down to a more rational number.
888-291-8000. My friends, there are 10 lines open. If you are able to make a $500 gift to Catholic Answers Live, it is going to be tripled. Anything over $500
is tripled.
So 500, 600, 1,000, 6,000, it will be tripled.
888-291-8000. I will tell you this, there are 10 lines open right now. I want to thank some people, and this is a great opportunity for you to fill up those lines. I will say, look, at the $50 level, if you could just, let's say you have never made a gift to Catholic Answers before. If you make a gift of $50, one of the things that we want to do is be your friend. And we don't mean that in a bad way. We want to have a relationship with people because this is a communal effort. So you're kind of reaching out to us if you make that gift. We'd like to respond to that $50 gift. Well, two ways. One, it's going to be matched, so it'll be $100 to us. And the other is we'll send you Andrew Petiprin's book, The Faith Unboxed, a beautiful book about how the Catholic Church is just not going to fit into the boxes people want to fit the church into. And it's also a bit of a memoir from Andrew Petiprin, who's a wonderful former Anglican priest, now Catholic, a fantastic person. Now, for some people, an introductory gift is $250. So if you can give $250, we'll give you the Faith Unboxed, but we'll also give you canceled 12 Catholic heroes that history turned into villains, including Marie Antoinette, who was a better person than you know about because history lies about her. Pick up the phone and call and give your $250 gift, and we'll give you both of those books. At $50, the Faith Unboxed, 888-291-8000.
Or CatholicAnswersRadio.com. Cy, can I just make an executive decision now? Do I have that authority?
Yeah, you're the executive. I believe you do.
Okay,
yeah.
so here's the other thing I'm going to add. If you will make a $500 or more gift, in addition to the 2 previous books that we will send you, we're going to send you a 3rd book. And no one even knows about this book yet because it just arrived today on my desk.
Oh, no way. You're going to... This is exciting.
Oh, wait, am I allowed to say this? Okay,
yeah, you can say it.
Wait, I asked permission.
Yeah, you could say it.
Okay, so do you have it here?
I don't. It's in my
not
office.
even here.
I have it in my office.
Okay, we'll get it in the break.
All right.
888-291-8000. 8
brand
lines
new book.
open,
Just
my
today
friend.
it came
It's a
out.
brand new book. It just came out today. And guess who wrote it? Listeners, just guess. Guess who wrote it?
Steve Dawson.
And
Cy Kellett.
Cy Kellett.
Yes.
This is a magnificent book, and you're going to love it. It's called How to Talk
About Jesus
with Anyone.
Yep. You want to learn to talk about Jesus with anyone? This is the book for you.
Actually, my friends, this is the one thing that you should want to learn how to do.
Yeah.
No,
right.
I mean, you may want to learn how to build model airplanes, or what else would people want to learn, Cy?
Play the guitar.
Oh, I definitely want to
make
learn
your
to play
own
guitar.
cheese.
Yes, that's right.
Do you want me to list all the hobbies?
No, but if there's one thing that people should want to learn how to do.
How to talk with anyone about
Jesus.
Yeah.
888-291-8000. And if you are able to make a gift of $500 or more, which will be triple matched, $500 is $1,500. We're going to send you that book in addition to the other 2 really great books that Cy mentioned, which are really great. And more executive decision here, Cy Kellett will sign it.
Oh my goodness! Yes, I will. I'd be happy to.
You can sign the other 2 books if you want.
291-8000. But let me, I'll tell you a little something about that book because I say Steve Dawson because if you don't know Steve Dawson is the founder of St. Paul Street Evangelization, and so for years and years, Steve has been on the street talking with people about Jesus.
No,
and
literally on the street.
They do go on the street and do that. And Steve is not a street preacher. He is not a guy that I was just on vacation with my wife, and there was a guy with a bullhorn standing on a box talking about Jesus. And he was doing it in a way that was extremely off-putting. And that's not what Steve does. But what Steve has developed is a way of engaging with people so that the gospel message doesn't just become a guy yelling at you on a box, but it becomes a personal invitation.
888-291-8000. 888-291-8000. My friends, there are 10 lines open. Here's what I want to tell you about Steve, and this is why, my friends, you should want to get this book. Steve doesn't come by this naturally.
No, right.
The first thing he will say is, I feel uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. Would that be the word that he would use?
Probably, yeah.
I'm reluctant to talk to people about Jesus.
Yeah.
So I think that describes many, maybe most of the people listening. I could be wrong. 888-291-8000, 9 lines open. All of us have felt this way at one time or another in our lives. So Steve has come up with, as you say, a system that even the reluctant, or a method, what's a good word for it, Si? I mean,
Yeah,
you were
it's a-
intimately involved in the creation of this
Yeah,
book.
I would say. I mean, it's very flexible. So it's maybe, but system or method or process or way of engaging with another human being to do the thing that Paul VI talks about: one heart communicating with another, one
Heart
soul
speaks to heart.
speaking to another soul about the person of Jesus Christ. And you know what? It doesn't start with. It doesn't start with you talking. The system doesn't start. The process doesn't start with you
I love the
talking.
system already. Actually, I don't really, because I love the sound of my own voice. But I
yeah.
get where you're going here.
But I mean, he can help you talk to kids, your estranged relatives, the person you meet on the street. It's a wonderful, wonderful opportunity to learn an invaluable skill, which is how to talk about Jesus with anyone.
My friends, there are 7 lines open, 888-291-8000, last hour of our drive. All gifts of $500 or more, which also means $42 a month, if you want to do it that way, will be tripled. All gifts will be matched, no matter how much you can give. We're grateful. We are really encouraging those gifts of $500 or more, and we're going to throw in this third book.
888-291-8000, 8 lines open. We invited a special guest to come on.
Someone
with us
who
today.
has no reluctance about talking about Jesus Christ.
I wonder if she would say no. Like she's one of those people that has a naturally charismatic personality.
does.
So I don't. But I wonder if she would say no reluctance.
We'll let her say.
Emily Torres is our guest. Welcome, Emily. Thanks for coming.
Hi, Si. Hi, Chris. How are you?
Really
We're
good.
doing great.
Really good. Now that you're here to rescue us, you're a convert to the Catholic faith.
That is correct, yes.
And Catholic Answers played a role in your conversion to the Catholic faith?
Yeah, Tim Staples, watching his video about Mary was one of the pivotal moments for me where I realized, like Our Lady really matters. And the things that my church was teaching about Our Lady was not nearly as the Bible and early Christians believed about her, like Tim Staples represented in his video. So yeah, and then when I was looking into the church, of course, whenever I Googled any question that had to do with Catholicism, your guys' articles are the first ones that come up. So you guys were a huge help in me researching the faith and then ultimately converting.
But why do you say you guys? Aren't you one of us?
I mean, I know. I keep saying that, and it's so weird. It's like a fever dream that I'm part of the team now. So it's
fever
awesome,
dream!
But I still haven't. It's like a good fever dream. Like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. This is insane. Like, I never in my most wildest dreams would I have pictured at 22 years old I'd be working for you guys. Like, it's really a dream come true.
I just want to object to one thing that Emily said. She doesn't work for us. She is completely part of the team, full-time employee here at Catholic Answers. She works with us. She works alongside us.
Well, she works for me, though. She may not. She might work with you, but for me, she works. That's not true, Emily. I'm sorry.
As do Si, all of the people who support our show.
Oh yeah, right. We're all collaborators on this.
Everyone here is a partner in the Vineyard, and my friends, I'm so glad we have Emily on right now. 8 lines open, 888-291-8000. I'm so glad we have Emily on right now because Emily is an example of the kind of, I don't want to say talent, but I don't have a better word. Just the kind of human person. How about
Jesus
that?
used the word talent, so it's okay. I think it's okay.
The kind of human heart, that's what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Because Emily has a giant heart.
Yeah.
And a giant brain, but a giant heart too. I mean, you can have a giant
And
brain.
a giant following on YouTube now.
Yes, she does.
So.
Yes, she does. And actually, she's kind of tall. 888-291-8000, 8 lines open. But because of the generosity of our supporters, Emily is the kind of person we can bring onto the full-time team here at Catholic Answers. She's an extraordinary young lady.
Yes. And so what we did want to talk about you, Emily, but you said you want to talk about other people. I invited you to come on, and you said, I want to talk about other people. So one of the things we have not done during the pledge drive, as well as we should in the past, is share what people say to us. And why do you know what people say about Catholic Answers in their, why would you be privy to that information?
Yes, so I am leading the monthly giving club known as Society 315. So anybody who gives
Defenders.
us donations, yeah, there's a little change happening soon. Spoiler alert, but so any donor who gives us $10 or more a month, I manage them. I send them monthly emails updating them on what their giving is contributing to, all the work and mission that they're part of with Catholic Answers now. And Thomas Graff and I, who is, the behind the scenes on all of our social media pages, we collaborated, and so he posted on our Facebook, our X account, our Instagram, our TikTok, and basically asked, how has Catholic Answers changed your life? And so we got thousands of responses from people all over.
Did we really? Thousands?
Yeah, we got so much feedback from people, and so I kind of made a list of all the ones that were just super informative and super touching, to be honest. After I read them, I was moved by a lot of people's testimonies. And so I wanted to share them with you guys and just with our audience, because some people specifically called out the radio show, how the radio show was transformative for them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we're funding for. So no better time.
Well,
Before Emily does, there we go. You did it. Okay.
I tell you what, that's a tease. Emily's going to share some of what we got back when we asked people what it meant to, what this apostolate meant to them. These are not words just for us, and we were really remiss in keeping them for ourselves, because this is an apostolate shared by thousands of people. We cannot be in business 3 months from now if people stop giving. We can't. We out of business. And so I want to say that because that, I think, conveys the truth about the fact that the donor is part of the work. It cannot be done without the donor.
Essential.
Essential
to the work.
We've got a $20,000 dollar for match. Emily, if you can hang on just a quick sec, if you don't mind, I'm going to let people know where we are and ask people to call. We've used up $4,000 of our $20,000 match. That's $16,000 left. Only one call on right now, and I know why, because everybody wants to hear what Emily has to say.
I was thinking the exact same thing. I said, we're not going to have her back on again.
I know, because they want to hear.
All the calls stopped. We're going to get some boring people on.
Yeah, we need to get really dull people on. Like an apologist. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That was mean. 12 lines open right now. Ignore Emily for a minute. Pick up the phone and call. We really want to use
You can dial and listen to Emily at the same time.
888-291-8000, or go safe and secure online to CatholicAnswersRadio.com. Please don't let the phones just die right now. Can you come in at that $50 a month level, and we'll send you the Faith Unboxed? Could you come, no, excuse me, not at the $50 a month level, at $50. Could you give $50 right now? It'll be doubled, and we'll give you the Faith Unboxed. Could you give $250 right now? It'll be doubled, and we'll give you the Faith Unboxed and canceled, the book about 12 great historical figures who got canceled, but the truth is they were good Catholics, and we'd love to send you that book. It'll inspire you when you ever feel like, oh, I might get canceled for my beliefs. 888-291-8000.
Wait. You forgot the bonus.
And then a bonus gift if you give $500 or more. You get the new book from Steve Dawson, the founder of St. Paul Street Evangelization, with his co-author, Cy Kellett.
It's a Cy Kellett book, too.
Okay.
100%.
Yeah, that's fine.
Also a Cy Kellett book.
But $500 or more, we're going to throw that book in as well. And everyone giving $500 or more, you're really helping us now, because
signed copy
we're almost $30,000 away from being fully funded. So a gift of $1,000 is huge to us right now. It'll be tripled too, and you'll get all those books. 888-291-8000.
10 lines open.
Emily Torres. How do people know you on the internet? What's the name they know you by?
Catholic.converts. And I'm mostly on TikTok. I'm also on Instagram. I'm also on YouTube. My biggest presence is currently on TikTok. I'm hoping to change that, though.
Yep. Well, that's fine. But you're also a member of the family here at Catholic Answers. And now you're going to share with us some of the things people said recently about what this apostolate means to them. And I hope that this will encourage more people to pick up the phone and call, because you are participating in something that is changing lives every time you give. Emily Torres, give us one. Give us one you liked.
Okay, so this is Karen. Her story was amazing. So she said, I was away from the church. I explored all sorts of faiths and philosophies before returning to Christianity, but still did not return to the Catholic Church. I was listening to a lot of Moody Bible Institute. I enjoyed the talks, but it felt like something was missing. One day, I was was driving down the street listening to them, and I said out loud, I wonder if there's a Catholic answer to that. A few blocks later, I noticed a car with the Catholic Answers bumper sticker.
Oh, no way.
I tuned in, returned to the church, and now that I understand my faith, I know I will never leave again. Thank you, Catholic Answers.
So, Cy, people are going to say we're making this up. We're not.
No, that's not
we are
right.
not. And anyone who believes in the work, the action of the Holy Spirit, is going to say that's exactly what happened.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. That's because we've all, those of us who are Catholic. Look, it had to become personal for you at some point, and we all know how the Holy Spirit works, and that is beautiful Holy Spirit work right there. That is such a cool story.
The other thing I want to say here, Cy, and it's been directly related to this latest testimony that Emily shared with us, it has been essential and part of the work of Catholic Answers from the very beginning, with Carl Keating founding the apostolate back in 1979, and then with the start of Catholic Answers Live 27 years ago. And it has been conversation with Protestants.
Yep.
It has been conversation with our separated brethren. And of course, it's expanded dramatically to atheists, relativists, non-believers, people who just don't care, people absolutely hostile to the faith. And yes, we want to engage all those people as well. But at the very beginning of our work was this conversation with Protestants, and so many of them have been brought into the fullness of the truth, which is what we want for them. We want the fullness of the truth. We want them to have the fullness of the grace of the sacraments. We want them to have the absolution that they can get in sacramental confession. Of course, most of all, we want to bring them to body, blood, soul, and divinity of the real presence of Jesus Christ. I am always with you in the Eucharist. So, my friends, 888-291-8000. Can I say this? I kind of feel like the Protestants for us are the low-hanging fruit. They're there.
We're so close. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it okay that I said that?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're so close. So and we're at a moment in history, Cy, I think, where I feel very strongly where the Protestant churches are they're kind of collapsing or dissipating. Dissipating is almost a better word. Their numbers are fewer and fewer every year, and the real believers among them are saying, okay, obviously this is not the fullness, as Emily described. I was listening to Moody Bible, but I wasn't getting it all. 888-291-8000, 888-291-8000. 11 lines open, my friend. So, my friends, when you support the show, you are helping, of course, all the work we do, all the people we reach, but let's bring in our separated brethren, because when we do, my friends, they're the combat multipliers. They're going to, as Emily was, and now working full time for Catholic Answers. Glory to God. 888-291-8000. 11 lines open.
That's a lot of lines open. Can we fill those up? Could you come in and make a gift now? Maybe you've never given to Catholic Answers before. Maybe you could come in at the $10 a month level. It's all matched dollar for dollar. That means what would be $120 over the course of the year is $240 to us. 888-291-8000. I know why people are not calling at the moment. They want to hear more from Emily. 888-291-8000 is the number to call. Please pick up that phone and call 888-291-8000. I want to thank a few people, Emily. And the reason I'm doing this is this will give people a chance to call, but also I can share some of the nice gifts that people have been giving very, very graciously to help us. Ryan gave, we talked about Ryan already, but Ryan, thank you. Ryan's in OCIA, and he already was giving $50, and he gave 50 more. So Ryan coming into the church and giving more. Vin from Virginia just gave $500. Also, Mary from Cairo, Nebraska is sending a check for $500. Thank you both. Those will be tripled. Thank you so much for that. Jaden in Kansas just gave $100, and he's getting confirmed next month. Jaden, congratulations. Praise God for that. Michelle from Louisiana, $100 one-time donation, and is very thankful for all that Catholic Answers does. Michelle, we're very grateful for you sharing that $100 with us. Let's fill up those lines. There's 9 lines open right now. 888-291-8000. We've still got $15,000 to use up on the match this hour. 888-291-8000. Emily, give us another one. Yeah, Emily
yeah,
Torres here
so
with us.
this our apostolate is not just transforming like individual lives, but it's having a ripple effect, like you kind of mentioned, Sai. So this one, actually, this person reached out to me over email, so I thought that was nice. I got to have a conversation with him. His name is James, and he said, Catholic Answers brought me to accept the truth of the Catholic faith, and I was brought into the church in 2024 because of you, and am now discerning a vocation to the priesthood. So it's just amazing to think if this man enters the church and becomes a priest, like he's not just serving us, but he's going to be serving an entire parish community or, beyond. So
praise God.
Very exciting.
Sai, here's another thing about these testimonies Emily is giving. The work that you do, my friends, is going to be multiplied by the Holy Spirit. And of course, the classic example of this is the beautiful story of the boy in the gospel who says, I've got this much bread, I've got this much fish, do with it what you can. And then, of course, what does our Lord do? He feeds the 5,000, and there's a lot left over. So, my friends, we are asking you to come with your loaves and your fishes. And maybe it's a few loaves and a few fishes, or maybe you have the means to, give us a truckload of fish. But whatever it is that you're able to do, it's going to be multiplied. That, as a consequence of your generosity, more and more people are going to know about the love and mercy of Jesus Christ. 5 lines open, 888-291-8000, 888-291-8000. All gifts of $500 or more tripled.
14,000 to go and just a half hour left in this pledge drive. More testimonies from Emily Torres right after this on Catholic Answers Live.
Will you do us a favor right now? Clear your mind of all other thoughts and reflect for just a moment on how Catholic Answers Live has made a difference in your life. Has our broadcast made your afternoon commute more meaningful? Perhaps you've learned how to explain the faith to family or friends in a more vibrant, convincing way. Something you heard here may have been just the thing you needed to look into joining or returning to the Catholic faith. All of these are serious reasons to be thankful, first and foremost to God, but also to all who have financially made it possible for us to air the show each day. Believe me, our gratitude could not be deeper. And we're coming to you today during our quarterly membership drive, asking you to join the ranks of the great people whose gifts and sacrifices have helped to turn around countless lives over the years, and very possibly helped make an eternal difference for many of them. Think about that for a moment. That's what your prayers and donations to Catholic Answers Live are doing. What a tremendous opportunity is being presented to you right now. Please don't let it pass you by. Call 888-291-8000 or visit CatholicAnswersRadio.com and let one of our fast, friendly customer service team members take your pledge. Large or small, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you call right now. Again, it's 888-291-8000 or CatholicAnswersRadio.com. We're offering some great appreciation gifts that are sure to deepen your faith life even more. But what's best is you'll have the confidence that when you turn your radio on tomorrow, or next week, or 12 days from now, we'll be here, boldly and charitably presenting the truth to a world that's searching for precisely that. Your pledge is vital to keeping Catholic Answers Live on the air. Will you make the call today to 888-291-8000 or donate securely online at CatholicAnswersRadio.com? Thank you so much in advance. Give now at CatholicAnswersRadio.com or 888-291-8000. God bless you.
Welcome back to Catholic Answers Live. I am Sai Kellett, your host. We are in the midst of our quarterly pledge drive. As a matter of fact, we're in the last half hour of the quarterly pledge drive, and I'm going to tell you what we need. And that has always worked for us before because we have very, very generous listeners. We need $14,500 to use the matchup. We need $27,989 to be fully funded. I have a strong feeling that if we are, this is just a feeling, but I said, I like to just tell the truth and let people figure out what they're going to do. Okay, now we need $13,454 to meet the match. This is the feeling I have. If we meet the match, then we're gonna reach our overall goal, because there will be people who will call tonight, overnight, or people who will just be extra generous to us one way or another. And so I feel like let's just meet this match. $13,400 to go, and we're going to be in great shape. There's 6 lines open right now, 888-291-8000. The match means this. When I say use up the match, if you call and pledge, if you give us $100, then the match money goes down by $100 because you got matched for $100. If you give us $500, that takes $500 off. So we have $13,454 available right now. So maybe you want to call and just give $454. Maybe you want to call and give $13,000. Okay, I'm being a little bit aspirational there, but 888-291-8000. 4 lines open, 8 calls on right now. So a lot to be grateful for. Thank you.
May I express that a little more simply? If you give $100, it's $200 to Catholic Answers.
That's it. Yeah.
How about that?
There you
so
go.
if you give $100,000, it's $200,000 to Catholic Answers.
888-291-8000. Emily Torres, that's Chris Check, our president here at Catholic Answers. Emily
2
Torres
lines
is our
open,
guest.
my friends. 888-291-8000.
This is my favorite thing I'm going to say about Emily Torres. I've just realized this is my favorite thing about doing the show with her, because I've interviewed her twice.
Her
and
smile?
Now
Her smile?
no, every time you go, Emily Torres, blush, full blush. Comes over her.
That's not the lighting?
No,
I thought
it's like
that's her lighting.
It's like
That's
she
her Zoom lighting.
changes a complete color scheme. When I go, okay, I'm just talking and Emily's fine, everything's fine. And I go, okay, we're gonna go to Emily Torres, full red, 100% red. All right, Emily. Well, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so all right, another testimony here. This goes to show how Catholic Answers, again, doesn't just transform the individual, but an entire family. So this person, Newell, wrote, Catholic Answers had big influence. All but one kid converted. One son is a Focus missionary. Our brother is a CFR priest. My wife opened a Catholic bookstore. So it's just, again...
That doesn't even seem real.
Read that.
That doesn't even seem real.
Read that one again.
Say that
I'm sorry,
again.
read that one again.
Okay. All but one kid converted. One son is a Focus missionary. Our brother is a CFR priest.
So CFR
wife
is...
opened a Catholic bookstore.
Wow.
CFR are the Franciscans. Yeah.
Of the renewal, right? The covenant,
Yeah.
That's Father Greshel.
Yeah, Father Benedict Greshel.
Benedict Greshel. 888-291-8000. 5 lines open right now. But this is one thing, Emily, what you illustrate with that is something I know that most of our older listeners get, is we're, people my age, we are concerned about our kids and our grandkids. Look what they're getting. And so what one of the things that we do is try to be there for your kids and your grandkids, and speak in a way that they're willing to listen to. I mean, I do think that we're not, the fact that we're not combative, but that we're informational, I think means a lot. Actually, I think it means a lot. Like Chris talked a lot about the Protestants and where we are in our relationship with Protestants. We've always spoken with Protestants, but it's always, like he said, he used the word conversation. We are not trying to bash you over the head and prove that you are wrong about everything. We're trying to say Jesus Christ gave the world 7 sacraments. You can get those 7 sacraments in the church, and they will save your soul. And and I know people are going to think, well, he thinks that we're not saved. I'm not saying that you're not saved. I'm saying that you want that salvation to be complete, full, final. I mean, the fullness of life. He gives himself to you in the sacraments. Come and get him. That's what we're saying.
May I say, Si, and because I don't mean to diminish the importance of saving souls, the other thing that those sacraments will do is they will give you a fuller life on this side of the veil.
Absolutely.
They will give you a closer relation. How much closer of a relationship, my friends, can a human person have with our Lord than to receive him every day, if he's a daily mass goer, in the Holy Sacrament of the altar, the Eucharist? How much closer can you get?
Well, you can't.
No, you cannot.
No.
You cannot.
Yeah.
So to all of my separate brethren who are listening to the show right now, who desire a personal relationship with Jesus Christ, and I desire that for you.
Yeah.
But actually,
come and get it.
Yeah.
Come and get it.
It's right
being
here.
served. Like literally, come and get it.
888-2, come and get him.
Yeah.
Yeah, 888-291-8000. My friends, there are 8 lines open, and we have a ways to go.
It's if it's a personal relationship. You said they want a personal relationship. I said, come and get it.
I
So you see what I'm saying? I just want to clarify that I was not making a grammatical error.
You can do
That's
both.
very
Come and
important to me.
888-291-8000. 8 lines
Nine
open.
lines open. Come on, let's fill those up. $11,500 to go. We're $11,500 away from using up the match. Our guest is Emily Torres. Watch. See.
I didn't do it.
It's
I
like-
was-
it's like
I
a-
was
She
intentional.
didn't do
Oh,
it.
she
She was
goes to
like
the-
slow breathing
like
or something
it's
that
like a
time.
chameleon.
So-
Chameleon. Yeah.
Okay, listen.
wait,
if any, oh.
888-291-8000. Go
Emily,
ahead,
take
Emily.
over.
Okay, I was gonna say, guys, if you're young like me, I hate picking up the phone and calling people. Okay, so go to give.catholic.com to just do it over the phone, so that way you don't have to face anybody over the phone if you feel awkward about that. But you guys, young people, we can give. We have $10 to spare. We have $20 to spare.
Oh, God bless
I
you,
know
Emily.
you guys can
Thank you.
do it. So just give us a chance. And on another testimonial note, okay, we're talking about how, we want to talk to Protestants, and this person is a Protestant. They wrote to us. They said, as a Presbyterian pastor, I've still found it to be remarkably helpful in giving me a grasp on how others approach faith with clarity and conviction. Catholic Answers' willingness to engage challenging questions with both depth and sensitivity has broadened my own view. I appreciate its commitment to reasoned dialogue rooted in a reverence for Scripture and tradition. It's a reminder that unity in Christ requires love and humility.
Sigh, Emily,
that
that man is going to
pastor.
die a Catholic.
That-
That man
listen.
is going to die a Catholic.
Yeah, but and what a gracious person.
Yes,
what
amen.
a gracious
Amen.
person.
The door is open. His heart is open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his heart is open because of, as he observes, the joy and the generosity and the charity and, can I say, the good humor with which the show
We
is
hope
made.
so. Oh, some bad humor too. I mean,
Bad humor can be good humor.
some attempted humor we
My
might call
friends,
it.
there are 9 lines open. I want to underscore what Emily said about young people not wanting to pick up the phone, and I get it. That's fine. CatholicAnswersRadio.com. But here, I can even one-up you, Emily. Text, right? That's what you young people do.
Just text.
True.
Yes.
Text Catholic. I'll spell that CATHOLIC. Text Catholic to 24365. What? 24365. Get it?
Because when do we love Jesus, Emily? When do we love Jesus?
24/7, 365 days a
That's
year.
exactly
Yo,
it.
no cap.
No cap,
Right?
Emily?
No cap.
We think
No cap.
we think we are so awesome that we know that phrase.
Yo, no cap. I don't even know what that means, but
All right,
I think it's good.
Not a lie. That means it's not a lie.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
All right, I got to just say one thing, Emily. Then I want you to give us more because I'm loving hearing the testimonies.
too.
10 lines open, $10,000 to go, 23 minutes left in the program. $10,000 to go, 10 lines open, 23 minutes. Pick up the phone and call. Everybody's getting matched. 888-291-8000. Emily, you went through thousands of these. Give us some more testimonies.
Alrighty, so this is from Luke. He said, I'm Catholic entirely aside from the action of the Holy Spirit due to the work of Catholic Answers and Mark Barnes' old blog, Bad Catholic.
I love Mark Barnes.
That is not a hyperbole. I cannot express how grateful I am that I found those recordings of the radio show in my podcast app back in early high school, and then I stuck with it till I was received and confirmed by junior year. It has changed my entire life in all the best ways.
Oh, that is what Jesus does. He changes our life in all the best ways. Isn't that cool,
Yeah.
though? This is just archived
Yeah.
stuff. He found the archived stuff. And
Yeah, or
and-
this was years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Emily, God bless you. Thanks. Well, now, okay, so we got more of those. I don't think I
do.
have to take a break. I think I can just keep going.
I love that he mentioned Mark Barnes, whom I love dearly. He's a personal friend at New Polity.
At New Polity. Oh, okay, that I knew I knew Mark Barnes. I've interviewed Mark Barnes.
Best magazine in the whole wide world. 888-291-8000. 888-291-8000.
8 lines
8
open.
lines open. But this is what I really love about that testimony. This is how God brings different means, actions. What would Carlo call them? Secondary
Causes. Different secondary causes, yes.
Into action. And this is what Catholic Answers is all about. It's about cooperating. So we have a friendship with New Polity. We have a friendship with Mark Barnes. But actually, God knew about this friendship even before even before I knew who Mark Barnes was.
Yeah, right,
And he
right.
arranged all of this, and this is what he does so beautifully. So a little Catholic Answers here, a little Bad Catholic there.
Yeah.
You throw in some Scott Hahn, and now
Right.
Luke's a Catholic.
That's right.
You know, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
It's- it's
there was.
beautiful.
That's why I think even like our guys debating, they go out and do debate, and okay, so you don't always win a debate, and I do, and I don't even think actually like at heart Joe or Tim, certainly not Tim. Tim couldn't care less whether or not he wins a debate. He goes there to present the fullness of the Catholic
Yes.
faith, and if everyone's like Tim got owned, but but one person got the Catholic faith, Tim's like, okay, that's fine with me, you know. And I think even these like it was awful going through the new atheist movement for all those years. It was awful because there were just lies and meanness all over the place. But in the end, Jesus is there giving people the answer through things like EWTN or Catholic Answers Live or New Polity. And so we can see these things as opportunities, really. They're opportunities.
Amen. 888-291-8000, 888-291-8000. There are 8 lines open. If you call, my friends, you're going to talk to a full-time employee of Catholic Answers. Not Emily Torres, because she's on the show right now, but any one of any other member of the staff. Let them know what brought you to, or how Catholic Answers has changed your life. All gifts of $500 or more are being tripled. $500 is $1,500 to us, and that gets us very close to.
I'll give the update. Emily, before you give another one, I'll give the update, all right? We need $9,287 by the top of this hour to meet our match. That is so exciting. That makes me think we can do this. We need $22,707 to be fully funded. I think we're going to hit both of those numbers. There's 8 lines open right now, 888-291-8000. Use up that match, $9,287, 888-291-8000.
My friends, if $500 sounds like a heavy lift to you, $42 a month is the same as $500, and that will be tripled as well. You'll get the 2 books plus the special brand new book from Cy Kellett, How to Talk to Anyone About Jesus, or How to Talk
about Jesus to anyone. But yeah, but we
7 lines open.
Emily Torres, a convert to the Catholic faith, a wonderful presenter of the Catholic faith using social media, and now a colleague here at Catholic Answers. Share with us some more testimonies that you have found about Catholic Answers.
Yes. Okay. This one I thought was kind of funny. So if any of you guys are parents to teenagers, or you have nieces or nephews that are teenagers, or maybe you're a grandparent to them, sometimes they like to ask a bunch of random questions. So this person said, when I worked in youth ministry, teens would always ask me a bunch of questions. Thankfully, on my 2-hour commute, I was listening to Catholic Answers the majority of the time. When they would say, how do you know all of this? I would reply with Catholic Answers Live.
Glory.
Oh, isn't that great? That is beautiful.
Praise God.
Yeah, and that's what you're talking about it's a force multiplier.
It is.
I mean, there's the caller getting their question answered, but there's also all of us who are listening. And I listened for years. I don't know. I might have never told you this, Chris. I don't know. But Emily, I never told you this. When I used to listen to Catholic Answers Live in my car, I would hear the question and then I would try to answer it real quick in my mind. And I'd be like, I want to see if I can do as good as this apologist is doing.
And the answer was never.
That's me too. I'd be like, man, I wasn't even close on that.
888-291-8000. Cy, this is how our Lord set it up. He didn't appear to everyone all at once and say, I'm the way, the truth, and the life, and give them all just a happy feeling inside. He started with 12 dudes.
Yeah.
And not especially educated guys either. St. John, he was educated, right? But the rest of them were, fishermen in the main. Well, there was a tax collector in there, so he knew how to count.
There's some kind of negative stuff in there about John's education, too. I don't know. I mean, he may have been able to. But I think let's not exaggerate.
His Greek wasn't that good?
No, this is just descriptions of him that suggest that he was unlettered.
He was, but he clearly was something of a mystic.
Oh, yeah. Certainly the writer of John's Gospel, but that could be John the Presbyter or it could be the Apostle John.
All right,
hang
on.
We're going to have a fight right now, Emily.
Yeah, no.
Stand
actually,
back, Emily. There's going to be a fight right now.
Emily might want to weigh in. My point is Jesus started with 12, can I say ordinary guys?
Yes, with very, very ordinary, yeah.
guys. He didn't just appear everywhere and say, it's done, salvation, here it is.
I'm sorry if I interrupted your point. I apologize.
It's fine. I'm glad
I just didn't think that John was quite as educated as you portrayed him.
I think, yeah, okay, very well. Well, you take it up with him when you meet him. 888-291-8000, 7 lines open, my friends. The point, of course, is Jesus started with 12. They didn't even have the internet. They didn't have the wonders of technology that we take advantage where we're Catholic. Catholic.com, our website, reaches millions a month.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But there are a handful of really first-rate apologists in the English-speaking world. I mean, we can count them off, and most of them work for Catholic Answers. But every single one of us, in fact, we're commanded to, because of our baptism and our confirmation, we're commanded to evangelize. So we're all force multipliers. We're here to help, my friends. 888-291-8000. Let's get the show funded for the next quarter.
9 lines open. $8,664 to go, and we've got 15 minutes to do it. $8,664 to go. Can you make a $1,000 gift right now and get us near that? We're $22,000 away from being fully funded. $22,000 away from fully funded, but that $8,000 number I just gave you, that gets us to fully use up the match this hour. Maybe you could do $1,000. You know what, Emily? There was a lady named Ramona. First hour, called from Delaware, gave $5,000. So that makes a huge difference with all the other giving people are doing. When somebody steps up and does that. All right, 9 lines open. I'm going to let Emily go back to her work by sharing some of these testimonies of what Catholic Answers has meant to people. 9 lines open. The number is 888-291-8000.
Alrighty. So Kenny wrote, 28 years ago when I was newly into my faith, you helped me feel confident that the church is the church of Jesus and has the truth. I've never lost that confidence, and now as a religion teacher, try to help my students have that same confidence.
He's a religion teacher. I mean,
I love it.
Yeah, isn't that's I love it too. I love it too.
I love it. 888-291-8000, 10 lines open, and about 15 minutes left in the hour.
I'm waiting for you to read one that goes like this. Like, I grew up on the south side of Chicago, and I was just kind of bumming around, and then I heard Catholic Answers Live, and I became a bishop in Peru, and now I'm the Pope of the church. Thank you, Catholic Answers Live.
Leo the 14th.
You think, is that? Just tell me now. Is there one like that in there? Are we working our way towards that one?
Unfortunately not, but if you give to 888-291-8000, we could get a story like that.
Right.
So let's keep the hope.
That's right. Keep that hope alive. 8 lines open, 888-291-8000. Or we need you to fill...
The future Pope could be listening right now to Catholic Answers Live.
Whoa. That is weird. Don't look at me.
It's not weird.
It's not me.
Nor is it.
Oh, okay. I thought you were...
No, I said listening.
I thought you were saying something. I thought listen while we're doing the show.
888-291-8000. My friends, let's get the future Pope informed about the fullness of the faith.
7 lines open. Can we fill all those up right now? I'll tell you what, we'll just keep having fun with Emily Torres sharing the good news with us. Emily herself is the good news. She's a convert to the Catholic faith who stepped out on her own and did all kinds of beautiful social ministry.
I don't want to embarrass Emily, but she's 22.
I don't know how.
Yes.
Is that what you said?
22?
Yes.
I would never have had, and I was in the Marines, I never would have had the courage to be so at ease behind a microphone like this.
I know that freaks me out a little bit too. That freaks me out a little bit.
It's stunning to me.
Do you think the future host of Catholic Answers Live might be listening today?
Oh,
do you think we might have
that could be? Maybe the future host of Catholic Answers Live will be the Pope. Could that? 888-291-8000.
He's like, I'm resigning. I found a better job. I'm resigning.
8 lines open, my friends. We've got to get about $8,000 left here?
We have 8. It says 8,354. Is that correct?
And 8 lines open.
Look, it's 12 minutes now, and we've got to raise $8,000. We do need your help. I am going to make an appeal one more time before I go back to Emily, who's clearly better at this than either Chris or I. I do want to make an appeal to those who can make those larger gifts, because I think to be fully funded, now under $22,000 needed to be fully funded for the next 3 months. And look, when I say fully funded, what are you funding? You're funding us making this show and giving it away to hundreds of radio stations, to I don't even know. I couldn't even tell you how many apps, how many websites, how many services around the world. You hear the calls. They come in from Africa, from Asia, from Europe, from Australia, from South America, from North America. That's because we give the show away free. That's the magic of this. We have the best apologists that money can buy, and then we put them on the air for free around the world. We need you to pick up the phone and call now, 888-291-8000.
It's free, Cy, but it's also trusted. If someone wants to know what the Catholic Church teaches and why she teaches it, unvarnished, of course, but with joy and with charity, but not with cant, is that the word, or opinion,
grumpiness,
or snarl, or which is a lot of what's out there.
Those, I think now they have
world.
a general modifier for all that attitude. It's called Twitter. So you just say without Twitter.
And I see a lot of these people, and many of them are doctrinally, in the main they're sound.
They're fine, yeah.
In the main they're sound. But I think to myself, are you trying to draw attention to yourself, or are you trying to
bring people to Jesus and the
Christ?
church?
Which is it? It is evident to anyone who listens to this show that we do not want to draw attention to ourselves. 888
Emily does it. She blushes every time you draw attention to her.
888 we're terrible at that. 888-291-8000. 5 lines open. We want to introduce everyone to the love and mercy of Jesus Christ.
4 lines open now.
The graces of his sacraments, the fullness of his truth. 5 lines open. 888-291-8000.
Emily, give us another one. What do you got?
Alrighty. So speaking of how we have some great apologists, this person said, Catholic Answers converted me. Trent got some things out of the way for me. Joe really opened up my eyes to the beauty of Catholic theology. Jimmy Akin gave me an appreciation for church fathers and clear thinking. My wife and I became Catholic this year thanks to you. God be praised.
Oh, I love this. I love it when a husband and wife come in together.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But that's the way it works too, because I do think there's people who will come into the Catholic Church because they listen to Tim Staples, but they won't come in because of Jimmy Akin, or there's somebody that'll come in because they heard Trent Horn, but they're not coming in because of Joe Heschmeyer, and you could reverse all of those. The fact is, I mean, Jesus gave us 4 gospels. Clearly, we need a plurality of voices sharing the good news, and one person is going to catch somebody in the net that another person can't catch in the net.
My friend, there are 4 lines open. 888-291-8000. 888-291-8000. 4 lines open. Cy, Emily, this last testimony that she has just given, I want to ask all the callers, if you could write a check and a husband and wife, as a consequence of your generosity, would come into the Catholic Church, how large of a check would that be? Would you say, if I write a check for $500, I know that a husband and wife are going to come into the Catholic Church? Well, the fact is, if you wrote a check for $1 million, that would be a bargain, right? But of course, none of us can do that, right? Well, there probably is someone listening who can. But any amount that you give, and the more that you can give, so that we can continue to reach more and more people. Because the more money we have that comes into this building, the more money we can spend on marketing and spreading the word about the work that our apologists do, and that draw more people to Catholic.com. 888-291-8000. 4 lines open. So how large of a check would I write to bring a married couple into the Catholic Church? Would it be $500? Would it be $42 a month? I think it would be. Especially if you knew that gift is going to be tripled.
And this is why we've been remiss in not sharing the thousands and thousands of testimonies about how just answering questions about the Catholic faith is an incredibly powerful ministry, bringing people into the Catholic Church. Look, the 6 lines open. We got $7,000 to raise. We got 6.5 minutes till the top of the hour, so roughly $1,000 a minute. We are going to need some of those $1,000 donors. Can you step up right now and help us? 888-291-8000. Give us another one, Emily. I don't want to waste any. Give us some more.
Yep. Okay. This one I thought was really sweet. It said, my brother is Catholic, and you helped me understand his faith. It's very short and sweet, but I just thought that's so nice. He wants to learn more about his brother's faith, and so he comes to us to do that.
That's another one where the door is open.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You can feel right that email will, or comment, however it got to us, will be different 5 or 10 years from now.
Yeah, or 5 months.
Yeah, right.
Yep. 888-291-8000. About $7,000 to go, 7 lines open.
Emily, you give us hope for the future. We have had wonderful relationships with young people via social media in recent years. We've met all these great people. You know a lot of them. You saw a lot of them recently at the Catholic Creators Conference in Pennsylvania. Just give me a word. Is there hope for the younger generation in accepting the faith and living the beautiful life that Christ has called us to?
Oh, yes, there is, Sai. I mean, I think so many people in our generation, we grew up on technology. We grew up on having any sort of entertainment, anything we want at the tip of our fingers. And we're tired. Like we were promised, oh, this is what's going to fulfill us. This is what's going to make us happy. And after years and years and years of experiencing this, we've realized, oh, this isn't actually fulfilling us. Only Jesus Christ in the fullness of his Catholic Church can fulfill us. So,
God
yes.
bless you, Emily. 22 years old, our colleague here and a wonderful person. Thanks for agreeing to come on here with us.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, I got to close this strong. It's going to take $5,000 now for us to reach our goal this hour. That's a long way to go, but we will continue to answer the phones as long as people will call 888-291-8000. 6 lines open. There's somebody out there that can pick up the phone and just make that $5,000 gift, but maybe it's going to be lots of people making a $50 gift.
Gifts of over $500 are tripled.
But we need your help right now. Thank you so much. No more fundraising for this quarter, but we do need your help in the next few minutes. 888-291-8000 or safe and secure online at CatholicAnswersRadio.com.